as well. Look at that. Typical Craig.
Here comes playing. Oh, my word! Absolutely magnificent. Paquet. Reed! He rose so high! Touched the sky! 2-1 down! 3-2 up! It's meant to be! It's surely meant to be! Incredible!
Be a long night. Paqueta, he's played it through, and Bowen's in. It's up for grabs now. He's done it.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the West Ham Review. I hope everyone's keeping well and had a good day. I mean, well, it's been a bit of a wet, blustery, sunny, weird old day, but other than that, we're all good. As always, I am joined by the benevolent one, Budgie.
The benevolent one today.
How are
I feel
we?
honoured, mate. Thank you very much. I'm very well. Thank you very much for the intro. And good evening to our esteemed guests.
And of course, yes, down below, he was on last week, and that we liked him so much, we thought we'd bring him back in again. How are we, Jeff?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for having me back, Tony.
No, it's a pleasure as always, and that, and because he was such a wind-up merchant on the last week's show, you know what? We've got to have this man on. We've definitely got to have this man back on again because he's always great when he comes on the channel, and he has been sorely missed. Welcome back, Gatesy. How are you?
Tip-top, Tone. How about yourself? All good?
Unfortunately, I still look like this, but that can't be helped.
Well,
Other than that, everything's all fine and dandy.
yeah, listen, you do.
His camera off. Look.
listen, Tone. You do what you need to do, right? Once you crack this YouTube lark and you start the pound notes start rolling in. I'm showing me age there. Pound notes. The £5 notes start rolling in. Yeah, you can clear off to Turkey. You can get your Barnet done. You can get your choppers done. You'll come back. You'll look tip top. Don't worry about it. That's my plan anyway. I wonder if you can get how much you can get done on about 15 quid.
Yeah,
Well, if they could do a back second crack, imagine what it is to have a fiver.
Jesus.
It's probably not even going to cover the airport tax, to be fair.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't even get your, I don't know, sort of like your nails clipped or anything like that for that amount. For a fucking waste of time. Never mind.
Well, I think it helps working at an airport kind of thing. Ching.
Yeah, there you go.
Always, let's say hello to the great people in the chat, and good evening to usual. He's obviously saying like Leslie there. Leslie's comment disappeared, unfortunately, but he's saying good evening all. Hope everyone has had a great day. Not too bad at all in there. And Brendan, good to see you as well. Evening, Tom and Budgie. And he's saying, usual. What are the odds of me leaving the chat if they all go on about the no confidence ball fist? Okay, see you next time, Brendan. But no, it's always great to have you with us. And he's usually saying, even over, I know exactly what you were doing with it when that certain person appeared. I felt exactly the same. It was the worst Wednesday, but it was all about football. Number one, great to see you, Rob. Hope you're keeping well. Evening, Gaffer and Budge. Yes. Mr. Sullivan, take note from Mr. Levy, because obviously Levy is gone. Can we all pray Sully is next? Wouldn't that be the day? Wouldn't that be the day? But yeah, fair play to Levy in that he's done the best thing probably for that club after all these years.
I want to ask a question. Now, Daniel Levy was the CEO, yes, of Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yeah.
The owner is that guy who lives out on an island somewhere out near Mauritius. Or
Joe Lewis.
Yes, Joe Lewis.
Joe Lewis, that's right. And Daniel Levy is married to his daughter, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How has he walked away from that club?
Did you say was?
No, he is married.
All right, okay. I was going to say, is that the reason why this has all happened? I've got no idea.
No, how is he walking away from a club with that much family ties?
I don't think it. I think it's more he's stepping down from the position. He's still probably going to be, no doubt, a non-executive director. He'll be in the background somewhere. He's not exactly leaving, but he stood down for his position.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he's, when you've been there that long, you don't exactly sever the
I
ties.
suppose that's like Sullivan giving West Ham to his son.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like-
he'll still be involved in some capacity or other, even if it's just he's got the ear of the person that's in power. Essentially, he'll have some sort of influence, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Get him to add him to 25. Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks for coming in as always. We're going to say my last 3 tunes today were Headstones, When Somebody Stands for Nothing, one in the Canberra version, Incubus, Wish You Were Here, and Teddy Bear's Different Sound. And of course, they're going on about the obviously the actual thing itself. I'll write the tunes down and give them a listen like you're saying. Usual was also saying, I was on earlier today. They were talking about singing sections at the ground instead of laughing. I took it to heart and said it's completely bollocks. That would be like going to a church and mate to sing a few hymns every now and again. No spontaneity or thinking of oneself. Good evening, Colin. How are we doing, mate? Good evening, Tony and Budgie.
Colin.
Always a pleasure joining you both. Always a great show. Thank you very much, Colin, and great that you're with us. And as you're saying, hello to everyone as always. And Colin saying, even Brenda, mate, been missing Barbara. She's doing well in her gymnasium, hair and beauty salon, doing very well. Oh, that's good to hear. Good to hear. Words and pictures. Good evening. I wonder if Budgie has green or blue feathers below his neckline.
Oh, mate.
Beautiful plumage.
Yeah, it's beautiful plumage.
And he's also saying,
He's fucking snuffed it. He's wrapped up in mortal coil, etc.
It is an ex-parrot.
Yes. Oh, man.
It is no more.
Yeah.
It has ceased to be.
Good evening, Frog. Good evening, gentle person.
Cool.
Good and well. Doing very well. And everyone, as always, saying to each other, which is always great. Usual saying Northern Ireland are one up already.
Aaron.
Brenda saying, Colin, when will we get to see Barbara again? Happy to hear she's been successful. And she's going to be back in October or November. Not too long. Yeah. Aces, good evening to yourself. Budgie, he's saying like that. He's obviously saying Jeff. And the other one is Gatesy. Don't be, just because you can't see him. He's
Good evening to all the chatters.
Tone, Budgie, Mr. Lounge. And obviously Jeevan and Rob, you wonderful gentlemen, saying to the pair of you as well.
Hello, Colin.
And Frog saying a top lineup. Yes, very pleased to get these gentlemen with us tonight. Words picture saying, wow, Rob and Jeff too. You're spoiling us, Mr. Ambassador. Is that an Austin ambassador, or is it, is Harry in the chat?
Yeah.
Kent Hammers, good evening, Kent. How are we doing? Levy has stepped down. Nothing Kelsey's going to change the call to Sky Sports as of 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I doubt very much it will.
Thanks, Ken. Nice to see you, buddy.
He'll still be in the back. There you go. He's leaving his position, not the club. There you go. Hammer Erection, good evening all. Good evening to yourself as well. Thanks for being in. And Billy Bob said, I've gently caressed the like button. Thank you very much, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob, you're an inspiration to everyone, mate.
And as always, don't forget, obviously, the West Ham Massive, Green Street Elites, and obviously the Bowling Lounge as well. Please appreciate giving support to these guys as well. Kent saying, I reckon Levy will have a Terence Brown sort of situation, a lifelong season ticket for Spurs. Yeah.
Of course.
They really don't like him then, do they?
Hold on, I'm going to have to mute myself.
Someone's burning the toast.
I was going to say, is that your dinner ready, Budge? He uses the smoke alarm as a cooking timer. Brilliant. Yeah, it's ready.
That's brilliant. No, I think there's too many people in here smoking. That's what it is.
Oh, dearie.
I was going to say, you take note from Anthony Budgie and that bloody smoke detector he had for 6 years.
Oh, yeah, his one just kept going bleep.
Jesus,
bleep for about 4 weeks. Going mad.
Amos saying, good evening all. No other top league club has had worse owners than us. Yeah, well, without a doubt. I hope you're doing well.
Well, that's, Eamon, that is a really good statement. But I would actually say that, Man United haven't really had a bit of roses for the last few years either.
I'll tell you one that I would probably point to, and they're not a top league club at the moment, but they were when this crowd went in. Look at Blackburn Rovers. They got taken over by those Venkies, didn't they? The chicken farmers from India.
That's it.
That's
Do you remember when they apparently they turned up and they said with a straight face, we're going to sign Ronaldinho? And this was obviously when Ronaldinho was in his pomp. And everyone was just like, you what? And apparently they turned around and said, yeah, no, we're going to do it on 10 million quid we're going to offer him. It's Ronaldinho. And they were sort of like saying, no, that's going to include the wages as well. It's like, really? Whatever happened to Blackburn Rovers?
Oh, well, they're still in charge for one. That bit hasn't changed.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
And it's still, it's poor in that. I mean, obviously, on the...
Have they got Ronaldinho yet?
No, that didn't happen. Clucking mental.
Yeah, they've got Ronald McDonald's in one of the corners and that selling chicken.
Yeah.
If they did get him, it would have been through foul play, wouldn't it?
Oh dear.
Deary.
Jeffy, you want to go now with these poor dad jokes and that? You've got the opportunity.
He's sending them over to me.
Can't be a dad joke.
But, well, this one's just made me chuckle when I saw this and that. And Aces says, "Where's the Curly Watts lookalike from last week?" Mick's not with us tonight, unfortunately, but we will pass on his doppelganger just to remind him anyway. Frog saying Trill doesn't toast that well, apparently, Budge.
Well, that's actually Trill was actually my nickname all through school, right up until Happy Amoret started calling me Budgie. It was her that started calling me Budgie because of the Trill connection. Yeah, there's a little story for you.
We have to
That's
look at that
about
one.
6 years ago now.
Bloody hell. Amy said about Man United to live their own ground. Well, just about, yeah, it's the state of the place. Good evening, Leslie. Hi, everyone. Finally got access to the chat. First post 26 hours before the show. Oh, what's happening here?
Wow.
Good evening.
Blimey, you sound like you Germans on. Am I allowed to say Germans on holiday where they're putting the old towels on the sun lounge? You're getting a comment in 26 hours ahead. Jesus Christ! I've probably just offended your German audience. I am very sorry, yeah.
Paul Crook will be after you, Rob.
He will. He won't be happy. He'll put in a transfer request now.
Pep's saying, good evening. I've got tickets to the Arsenal versus Forest and West Ham versus Spurs next Saturday. Nice, mate. Which one are you going to go for?
He'd be able to go to both of them, wouldn't he?
You're just saying, it's 1-1 now. 30 minutes being played. It's 1 already.
Who are they playing?
I don't think it is.
Arsenal. No, Ireland.
Luxembourg.
Yeah, Northern Ireland, isn't it?
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're playing Luxembourg.
Ah,
I
the
wouldn't
mighty
mind-
Luxembourg.
wouldn't mind betting that Sebastian's General watching that.
And apparently
Oh,
prices
my
are pennies safe for Northern Ireland as well. Spain's 2-0 against Bulgaria.
I sent him a message the other day, actually, saying about Sebastian Chamel.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like I knocked him bandy with my French lingo. He loves it. He loves it. Little does he know of little invention called Google Translate. It's a marvelous thing. He'll be so disappointed if ever I get him on a live stream, and he'll be sitting there thinking, this guy knows his French. He is super. He is shit hot, and I ain't really got a clue other than what I learnt off of Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
Most of that's fucking
Shame
German.
on, shame on.
Yeah.
Shame on.
Yeah, mange two.
Allez, mange, 10 pois.
Well, as long as you don't talk like the English fella from Hello.
Oh, good morning. I was pissing Bazador.
Kids say their owners and custodians need to act like custodians and pass the club on to somebody who will get the progression that is a great club deserves. Yeah, we're all praying for that day to come along, I must admit.
Funny you should mention that, Ken, because last night that was one of the subjects that we were discussing when Anton and Nick were with us about them being custodians rather than actual active board members. and that actually got quite a lot of response on that actually. So you know,
No, it's good. I mean, it's good. Like I said, it's good to see that we're all kind of it's being highlighted, and it's what the ball takes on board. That's going to be the thing for me. How much they will take on board, what they're not going to take on board. Leslie saying good evening to Tony, Jeff, Gaxie, and Budgie. Eamon saying Budgie
Hello.
smoked salmon. He's just smoking the salmon himself, hence the fire alarm.
yeah, probably
He
so
likes
hard
it.
to keep like them salmons.
He likes it extra crispy.
Big up to DJ Crane. How you doing, Tone? Big up Tony, Tone, Budgie A's panel and the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you anyway. Well, let's start off with the main one, which was, and I don't know if it was you, but I was working.
Not my dog this time.
No, it's mine. I do apologise. I'm upstairs, she's downstairs, and I think she wants to get to her dad, and she's complaining.
Brilliant. Absolutely superb. Yeah, I mean, our result against Forest. I mean, I must admit, I didn't expect that. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, actually, last week we were predicting quite a lot of pain, weren't we, son?
We were indeed, yeah. I definitely.
Well, I got the score right.
Did you?
You did, just the wrong
Not the right team.
Oh, I went for a 2-2 draw, so I was probably close-ish, but not really.
At least you had us to score.
Yeah, wasn't it? I couldn't believe it when it was. I saw it was like 3-0. I was like, what?
Yeah, wonderful,
Unbelievable.
wonderful. And actually, the second half performance was as good as I've seen from any of them players that we've got. You know, well, with the exception of Bowen and Paqueta, they've played better in the past. But as a team going, good evening, Sharky. As a team going, it was as good a performance as I've seen from this group of players.
Are you getting swept away by 10, 15 minutes, do you think? Or did you
No. What I'm saying is
half was like a sterling performance.
No, I think what they did was they got together as a group, realised where all the holes were and where they were going wrong, and as a group got it right. Put it right. And that's what I mean by as good a performance as I've seen from this group of players is that they actually worked together really well and closed it down. And we got 3 goals out of it. So
how much? I was just going to say, boys, how much do you reckon, though? And I'm not criticising Graham Potter at all. And look, cards on the table. Do I think that he's capable of coaching, managing a Premier League team such as West Ham? I'm not 100% convinced, but I hope he succeeds, and I hope any West Ham manager succeeds. Yeah, because if the manager succeeds, the club succeeds. Very, very simple. But how much do you think he was, in a funny sort of way, helped by all the shenanigans that went on over the previous 24 hours, principally with all the sort of stuff about Aguirre? Because I think the fact that he was basically hoiked out of the squad or withdrew from the squad of his own accord, whatever, in a way, it forced his hand to change the shape. I mean, I know you could argue that, well, did it? Because you had Todibo, he could have slotted him in, but I don't know. I don't know. Was it something that kind of fell into his lap, other than something that he had a conscious decision in the lead up to that game to say, right, I'm going to go for it at the back?
Yeah, I think, Rob, that there was possibly, this is literally just my own thought process. This isn't like founded in any way, shape or form, but I think that there's an element of that. There's an element of the fact that he's been listening to, some fan chat, if you like, that, we think that we should be trying a 4 at the back, and maybe some of the players have been saying, look, boss, we think we'll be stronger as a unit with a 4, and I think that there's been more communication over the last week or two. And I think maybe that has been, helped along by the fact that again went,
He had to go. I said it on. I did a live yesterday on Massive with my brother, and I used a terminology which some people might find quite strong, quite harsh, whatever. But I mean it in a literal sense. I believe that Naya Fagere was a cancer in the squad, and he needed to be cut out because otherwise he would have spread. He would have absolutely just caused chaos behind the scenes. There was already stories about he was mouthing off to prospective players about, don't come here, mate. He didn't want to come back. He wanted out, and all this, that, and the other. He was mouthing off to prospective players saying, "Don't come here, it's shit." And even if that was true, it's like, for fuck's sake, really?
Yeah.
But to your point, Rob, okay, Agard refused to play and ended up leaving the club. But Todibo was also a casualty of that, right? Because he'd been playing in the system. So as you said, he could have easily just dropped Agard out, used Mavropanos, Kilman, and Todibo. But Todibo was a casualty of that formation change as well. So
true.
I don't really, and it could be a factor, but I think it's really hard to know. I mean, I think as we've all been screaming for a 4 at the back, saying that's what should be played, and then the manager does it, and then we go, what a great victory for fan pressure, he's listening to the fans. Well, is he, or is it just because that's what we want to see and now he's done it? We can almost believe that we've influenced it. I don't think managers really bow to fan pressure, not very often anyway.
I'm not saying that he would have bowed to the fan pressure, but maybe, just maybe, he's listened to the fact that the fans are so, and he knows that we watch them week in, week out, and we know this team and this club better than he does, and he's not a stupid man, Jeff. Maybe, just maybe, he's clever enough to look at that and go, well, maybe I'll have a look at that in training.
Well, he should.
And it's worked in training.
He did fucking 11 goals in 3 games prior to that.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
he might want to look and go, something needs to change here. So thank God for that. Why didn't he try it in the Wolves game?
I think the thing is there, I think maybe what we're all missing a trick here in that is you look at the situation with Bowen going into the crowd with a fan. Yeah. Now, surely from that point onwards, what may have happened also, it could be fan pressure, as we said, it could be that. But it could be also the players that basically said to him, like, boss, we've got to sit down and we've got to sort something out here because this ain't going right. And it could be also player influence as well.
We don't know. I mean, aside from all the info that comes out the club that you can't believe, how much of it is planted, how much is mischief making, we'll never know any of that. So we don't really know. Coaches could have been banging their heads against the wall all through pre-season going, this ain't going to work, Graham, this ain't going to work, Graham, we really need to go 4 at the back, right? And he's finally bowed to him, right? We don't know. Could be that.
Well, the interesting thing, I think, was it the Chelsea game or was it the Wolves game? One of the two of them, where he set up the game, how there was going to, the tactics and everything else, and then by virtually the end of the week, apparently, he changed it all. So maybe it's one of those. He's thinking about, what he's doing with himself now because he knows he's on borrowed time. The only problem for me is, which we've seen last season, is, I think you've all said it. We've got a little bit excited because of, an impressive result against a Forest side, which basically impressed everyone last season.
Yeah.
It's the fact that...
And it's strengthened.
It's one game. And we've not exactly turned the corner yet. Once we do 2 or 3 same performances, then we could say, okay, maybe this is going in the right direction now. But one game don't make a season. And just because we've had a great season. And what made me laugh more than anything else is Potter actually got a bit boisterous about it and, say, like, I told you this is where I'm going to get it right. And he got a bit narky with some of the journalists. And they said, hold on, mate, you ain't done nothing yet.
No, but it was. I thought, going back to that Forest thing, I thought it was a very good away performance, right? And we did to them ultimately what a lot of teams do to us quite often these days, and we blew them away in like a little 10-minute spell, right? And at the end of that game, although it never seemed like a 3-0 game, you could almost be scratching your head and saying, how didn't we get 4 or 5 there? Or we could have had 4 or 5. Then we really could, right? But I also think Forest were a little bit off colour.
Yeah.
I don't want to take anything away from us, but I'm not sure Forest had their greatest day at the office, if I'm honest. So we keep our feet on the ground a little bit, but I think we should take the positives out of what a really good team performance it was. How many good performers were out there? I spoke about it on my show on Tuesday. I mean, Manson, he had a good enough game. To be fair, he was protected pretty well, but what a good confidence builder for him.
Yeah.
But KWP, Juff, the debut from Fernandez, Paqueta's performance, Somerville coming on, the impact he had, even Callum Wilson, right? I mean, there was good performances all through that team. So we should be pleased about that and take the positives out of that. And I just hope that we carry that into the next game and can get that togetherness and that team performance going, and let's turn Spurs over next. So fingers crossed, eh?
That's all I see.
I mean, and the thing also, the thing also that I wanted to point out was that when Paqueta scored his penalty, the passion he showed to the fans was nothing short of incredible. And then when the game was over, I liked the fact that the whole team went and walked up to the away fans and applauded them and, celebrated with the fans and that straight away. So, every single player, coach, everybody went up
do that, don't they? It's a lot easier as well after you've had a good away win, I think, to get the plaudits from the away fans.
Yeah, I was actually there on the first game at Sunderland away. That was a slightly different experience for them, I've got to tell you.
Let's bring him in. Let's say hello as well to Jay. How are we doing, mate, from that West Ham channel? How are we, mate?
Hello, Jay.
Hello, everyone. Absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invite, Tone. Great to see you all, people.
Good,
and you, Jay. Nice to meet you, buddy.
And you.
I will come back to Colin's comment, but I want to, Kent's put this one here. 10th of January 2010, the demise of West Ham has started 15.5 years later. We've had a relegation, player final, win a home removal, free goods at the Olympic Stadium in Prague. The rest of the time has been in limbo. And that pretty much sums us up at the moment. But, yeah. I mean, Jeff, I'll make you right. There's a lot of positives to take from that game. All I'm looking for is consistency in the next couple, because that kind of tells you we are moving forward. And that's all I want, really, myself.
Not a flash in the pan,
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing for me. Eamon's saying our defenders haven't got the intelligence or maybe the concentration to play a back three. They're far better in a back two. Hopefully we'll keep playing 2 central defenders from now on. I mean, that's all we can hope for, really.
I think it's easier for them to pass their responsibility, not take responsibility and try and pass it on. And I think that's why they don't edit away. It's like, oh, he'll deal with it. When I think when there's 2 of them, they've got their jobs to do, and if they don't do it, they really stand out as not doing their job. I think I can't point the finger at someone else. Go, I thought he was going to get him.
No, true. I mean, obviously, look, Sharky's putting it good. Didn't want to play for West Ham before the AFCON began. He's not professional.
Yeah.
Opinion. And I think what kind of proved the point was a nice message from Emerson when he left, and professional to the end at the end of leaving us, and away. As you said, even though I'm gone, I'm still a hammer at art, and that's not going to go away from me. Whereas the good, it was all false and plastic and. Thank you for my time here, and it's like no. As you said, Casey, I'll make you right. Play it like that.
Yeah,
he'd be here, and all he would have done was made the place become toxic.
All you can do is get those players out. And interestingly, another wanker that we sold to Marseille was Payet. exactly the same thing, wasn't it? You know, I don't want to play for the club, and it's like, okay, well, you know, piss off to France then. Job done. Get them out. You don't want to play for my club. I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are. You ain't bigger than the club ever.
Do you think Alvarez is one of those?
Alvarez, what in terms of
not wanting to play for the club or not being too committed?
No.
No, I don't. To be honest with you, Jeff, with him, I think he wanted to play for the club. I just don't think Potter was overly enthused by using him. To be truthful.
No, I agree. There's definitely something going on between him and Potter. They don't get along. But Alvarez has also not got along with Lopetegui, not got along with Moyes, and
he's Mexican.
It might be a good job that Jose's gone, because if he could fall out with everyone else, I'm sure he would have fell out with him as well. But
yeah, it's the fiery Latin temperament, Jeff.
Exactly. I'm not saying that that's necessarily a problem or hinders his game. Well, it does hinder his game a little bit sometimes, but again, separate issue. But no, if you think he was committed, I just wonder, especially with all the whispers that come out of the club, and this doesn't help, does it? You know, everyone who leaves the club or is proposed to leave the club, the poison starts dripping about. Are they disruptive? Aren't they? I don't know if he was or wasn't disruptive. I don't know whether he did or didn't come here as a stepping stone. I rather suspect that he did come here to try and get himself a better move. And he may be a little bit disappointed that he hasn't got his move to Manchester United or wherever it was he was hoping to get to. Whereas Kudus, on the other hand, I think has come here to get a move. And regardless of anyone thinking whether we got the right money or if he's gone to the right club, ultimately he has got a move. So I don't think they're too dissimilar in that way. But maybe Alvarez would apply himself a bit better than Kudus would. I don't know.
Thing is, though, guys, and I'm not trying to be sort of funny or anything. And look, I'm a West Ham fan. We're all West Ham fans. But let's be completely honest. Most players that come here either come here because they see us as a stepping stone onto bigger and better things in their eyes, or they're the other side of the hill coming down, sort of thing, past their prime, or they've got something wrong with them, like they're injury plagued, or they've got some sort of personality defect, like Ravel Morrison, who, you know, one day he'd turn up to training and then sort of like you wouldn't see him for days on end, whatever. So that's always been West Ham, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, but we always want them to be the Pablo Fornals or the Paolo Di Canio type characters that really get the football club and fall in love with the club. You know, another Manuel Lanzini. You know, you can reel them off, all of them that have come in, but you know they're really regarded.
Winston Reid.
Emerson talked about one that's just gone out the door now, but I think he'd be well thought of. What a performance he put in Prague. What a good servant he was while he was here. He's going to be regarded as a hammer, and others kind of move. Kudus is not going to be regarded in that light. He came here, he's a fine footballer, he's moved on, off you go, mate.
Yeah.
No, true. I mean, like, you know, for me, when you look at it on the other kind of spectrum of that, you've got to think we got two forwards in under Moyes in Scamacca and Haller, never played them to their potential. We all thought, you know, most people thought they were crap. And then they went on to other clubs and proved that, no, that's not the case. They smashed in goals. I mean, especially Haller. I mean, look what he's been through. And still managed to bang in the goals.
Well, he still holds the record, doesn't he, for Champions League goals in a season, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is the thing, Budge, you know.
He holds the record for it.
It's using players at the right time and that. And Moisey wasn't that type of player. So we brought two forwards in, which we never used their full potential in that. And that we've lost some good players, all because of the way managers played, you know, the system that they played.
Well, we had an absolute bull in a china shop, didn't we? And then we asked Scamacca and Haller to come and play like that. It's just not their game, right?
No, it's true. Absolutely right there, Jeff. I mean, I love this one for Frog. As he said there, you know, if Potter had it worked out all by himself, basically it's only taken him since January to get there, basically, you know. So that just Stephen Langham said say we should never go back to a back three. And obviously they're talking about the kids there. We look stronger in the back three with Igor. I mean, obviously, you know, we've now got this Igor one on that. And how does it feel, boys, that we've kind of upset the apple cart for poor old Liverpool
Well,
and not getting gay.
let me just say before we go too mad with Igor, right? We've got him on loan. There is no guarantee this club is going to activate or go for a permanent loan. There's no guarantee of it. If he turns out to be a good player, we would hope they would do that. But there's no guarantees of it. But he does look good, and it is nice that we kind of snatched him from underneath Palace's nose. I like that. That's quite a nice thing. But let's not get overexcited about him being a permanent fixture because he is only here on loan.
Yeah, we've been there before.
That's
Patrick,
all I wanted to say.
With a few players, that's for sure. I mean, it must be. If you're a Palace or Palace itself, you must be peed off to the eyeball because he actually had the medical there as well. And then said, "Not for me, thanks. I'm off to West Ham."
Yeah.
And rest is history. And poor old Liverpool and Gay, he missed out on a dream move, all because of it.
Did they sign another centre back, Palace?
They did, but he's one for the future. Apparently, he's not the one that's going to start first team. Hence, why they pulled the plug on the deal. So it all depends if they go back in for him in the January window now, because Van Dijk doesn't look exactly the greatest at these days.
I'd have him at West Ham.
He'd definitely come in there, that's for sure. Matt's made a point. Forrest could be distracted by what's going on with Nuno and the chairman, because that's a weird one. That what's going on there. Stephen Langham, I like this one. Look, he works in a pub just off a beach, and we average 25k a day, and I'm exhausted. I'm not surprised for that amount.
Nice.
Frog saying, I go in, Kudos stretched off in 35 minutes. Every cloud, they say, every cloud. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm hoping that if he gets his elephant stalled out, if he gets it out because he scored against us, I hope it's got fucking woodworm.
Very sharp pointed
well. Can you imagine
what him scoring? No,
trying to get a stall. I think it would be a bit.
No, they won't let him have one. It's not, mate. Mind you, the stewards
coming back and doing that. I think the stands would go ballistic.
I mean, they'll have to have stewards tenfold just to stop everyone getting through it, ripping them to pieces, basically.
Yeah. Wouldn't go down well, would it?
Kent saying, dare I say Sunday, if David Moyes was manager, it would have been a typical boys' performance, hold the opposition until the last 20, then admit Mard. And not being funny, when we did go to Forest, they did Tonkas free now, I remember rightly.
Yeah.
But saying Diouf and Somerville and Fernandes will assist loads of goals for Bone and Wilson, in my honest opinion. I mean, Somerville look like a brand new player.
Mate, listen, there's no getting away from the fact that boy's been chomping at the bit to be coming back. And he looks like he's really hungry to impress. And he was the championship player of the season 2 seasons back. So
true. Eamon makes a point. Our midfield is far superior technically than their midfield. We just didn't have any pace. That all changed when Somerville came on. Yeah, they couldn't handle that.
Fernandes, what a difference he made.
He looked good as well.
I mean,
Jeff,
straight in the door, straight in the team, putting a performance like that. When his understanding gets better with his teammates, I just can see him just getting better and better. What difference? Just one player come out, and when we need more than that, we need a bit more zip around. But we had a bit more bite around us in the middle of the park, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And Fernandes would carry the ball, and he
made players like that can be contagious. Players like that can be contagious as well, though, Jeff. I mean,
I think it's just about
if you get a really decent player
for other people,
Yeah.
Fernandes makes them little runs down the side channel of the box there, and they've got another runner to worry about. All of a sudden, maybe there's some space out there for Diouf or Paqueta or whoever it is somewhere, and we didn't have any of that. It just makes such a difference to you. That's why it made a difference when Somerville come. We had Bowen going down the right-hand side, and then Somerville suddenly attacking them with pace down that left-hand side. They couldn't cope with it all of a sudden. We just haven't had that.
Food for thought, Jeff. I think in that one, it definitely is food for thought. Sharky's asking you, Jay, what's the weather like in Spain?
I'm sitting in the petrol station in Marbella just on the way back from work. It's 25 degrees and I've got the aircon on. So, yeah, it's still warm.
Nice, mate. Very nice.
Listen, on a tip in, I've been listening. So I've just been sitting here quiet, right? Because I always find it best to listen, especially, because I'm out here. I very rarely get to speak to that many West Ham fans. It's always a pleasure to listen to proper West Ham people talk about our club. This may have already been touched on. Hello, Colin. For me, I don't know if it's, like I said, sorry, I've just got here, so it might be. As soon as I saw the formation, I got a little twinge down below because I was like, oh my God. 4-3-3. The biggest difference on against Forest was 4-3-3. Was our players went out with a formation that they were familiar with. It's as simple as that. You can get all clever. We can all get clever about technicalities and where people play different and someone had a great game. It was the shape. Football's a team game. If they go out in the right shape where everybody's comfortable in their position, then you get a performance like we did the other day. Because let's have it right. I'm not being funny. Don't get me wrong. I loved every second against Forest the other day. But we should have been performing like that for a long time. It's just because we've been so bogged down with shite football, with shite tactics, with no legs in the middle of the park, that all of a sudden we have an half-decent game and go, fucking hell, look at that. And don't get me wrong, it was all of the above. Fernandez, new man crush for me. Fucking love him. Amazing. What a performance. What a complete midfield performance. Up, down, that little run he made for Juve when Juve cut that ball inside. Then moving on to my next man crush. He's a beautiful man. He's perfectly symmetrical. Check his face out. Jimmy fucking Somerville. What a player. What a fucking player. When he came on down the left, like the geezer, Jeff, you just been saying, shout out to you, Jeff. What you just described, right, is for most clubs in the Premier League is basic football. Balance. You can go down the right, you can go down the left. We ain't been able to do that for years either. We've had these basic flaws in our team, which are basic. It's all basic stuff we're talking about here. You don't got to be a Premier League coach to look at West Ham and go, right, you're too slow in the middle of the park and you got fuck all going down the left. Right, that's a big obvious problem. On Saturday, that got fixed, and I just hope, for Potter's sake and for the sake of peace within the West Ham community fans, that he starts with a 4-3-3 on Saturday. I'm going to shut up and listen again now. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Well said. Well said. Good evening to Mr. Bong. Good to see you as well. And also Fly Fox Pro is just telling us Fulkrug out of German team due to a calf injury.
Oh, no.
Here we go again.
And it begins.
Here we go again. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my days. Matt's saying apparently Kudos the Judas wanted to leave the season after he joined.
He did. What I've heard.
No one came in for him, so yeah.
Thing is, you look at his performances last season, you hear that, and you go, "Yep, makes sense."
Yep, absolutely.
He only ever came here to leave, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, like,
we should be honest with ourselves about that. I think.
Well, that's what I said earlier about sort of like players coming to us, and they're either on the way up the hill or the way down the hill, or they're damaged goods. That's usually what happens.
True. Yeah, true. Matt's saying.
Yeah. I mean, like we spoke about Emerson earlier. Oh, go on, sorry.
I was saying, just saying about this one, we're going to have egg on our face, not buying another striker, having to rely on Wilson and Marshall, etc.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, go on, Budge.
Yeah. We spoke about Emerson earlier, and when he first arrived, a lot of people were unsure about him because, why weren't he getting game time at Chelsea, etc., etc. But when you looked at the players that were in front of him at Chelsea, there was little question as to why he didn't get a great deal of game time. And when he came to us, I said to a lot of people, you watch, he'll be a good player for us. He'll be a player that gets used a lot. And, now we've given him he's given us his farewell, and I would say that 99% of West Ham fans wish him well. And he proved to be a good player for us, which is more than players like I think I'm sorry to say it, I think Kudus, of course he never came here to make an impact at West Ham. He came here to make an impact in the Premier League so that he could get his move. That was his door into the Premier League.
Well,
I don't disagree with you about Emerson, Budgie. What I will say though, I do actually think that Juve will end up being an upgrade on Emerson ultimately.
Oh, absolutely.
I absolutely think that Juve will bring to his game what Emerson didn't, which is assists. His balls into the box will bring goals, and that, unfortunately for Emerson, frustratingly, really, is he actually got forward really well, but he didn't deliver enough crosses, good crosses into the box that led to goals. His assist record, goal scoring. We don't expect lots of goals from your left back, right? But if you're asking him to get forward and deliver balls in the box, you might want a few assists for him, and he didn't really get that many. And I think Juve will. So I think he'll bring more.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, they might play in the same position, but they're very different players as well. Sure. And Juve has got youth on his side.
Yeah.
And and the fact that the football he's been playing, he said he started off as a centre back, and he was pushed out onto the left out of necessity for the team that he was playing for, and thrived out there. So he's developed his game to do that. And if he's that good at that age to be able to redevelop his game going forward, there's obviously going to be some promise there, because he will be able to develop on the game that he's already got. And like you said, the assists and goals should come, hopefully. He's still a young lad.
I've seen the videos of him, and that he's capable of getting goals as well. So I don't think we've seen the complete package from him yet as a West Ham player, but I think that won't be long. That will definitely come out.
No.
Colin's saying it. Sorry, Jay, go on. Sorry, mate.
I just want to chip on in this Jew thing, right? One of the things the other day that drove me freaking... I'm not going to get caught up in him too much because he shouldn't be near the pitch, is JWP taking every set piece, which is bland as fuck. And you got Juve. The other thing with Juve, what I like about Juve, right, is he's a throwback. You don't get many these days that he takes as much pride running down the wing and whipping the ball in as scoring a goal. Now, you can see he loves it. He wants to do it. Put him in that position. All he's going to want to do is not just get into the box, but with purpose. Like, he puts it in with meaning. He's not just thinking it in or just floating it. He's like, no, fuck. He wraps his foot. I said this the other day, if you watch his game, before he crosses, every time there's a split second where he slightly slows down and he focuses eyes solely on the ball. And then he just pulls that leg back like them one of them old toys where you pull the fucking thing back. And he just fucking flings that foot forward, brings that, and he near enough gets the sweet spot of the ball every time. I would liken him to Beckham in that. I'm not saying with the free kicks, but if you remember how Beckham used to be able to whip a ball in, and Beckham didn't have the pace of Juve, but he'd do the same. He'd find a split second to place his standing foot, because Juve crosses the ball the same you can see he's been practicing that time time again. Yeah. I'd like to see him doing that. I want him taking our corners. I want him taking our free kicks. And I want JWP to fuck off, because he does nothing anyway. Fernandez the other day showed him up completely. So for me, Juve is a steal. Like, he is an absolute steal of a deal. And I think the more we see him in a 4 at the back, not this bullshit system that Potter likes playing with no strategy, keep him in 4 at the back, either Wilson or Fulcrook in the box. I predict he'll get at least 10 assists this season. He's magic.
What I loved
Yeah.
about him, you know, what you're saying about his delivery there, Jay. I mean, didn't he say when he walked in the club, didn't he say to Fulcrook, you tell me where you want it, I'll put it there. I mean, you got to love that, ain't you? Like, you
Yeah.
know, guys just walking in the door, he's got that much confidence in his ability. Like, you tell me where you want it, I'll put it there. But in the short time that he's been here, that we've seen of him, in just a handful of games, it looks like he fucking means it, right? and that's brilliant, right? He's not just walking the walk. He looks like he's talk the talk as well.
Absolutely. Definitely.
He goes about his business quietly, Jeff. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He just gets on. He's almost got a bit of a Kante-esque aura about him. You remember Kante for Chelsea? Just goes in, like, he does what he does. Like, he's no fuss. He's not going to be the player that you're going to see in all the headlines, rolling out of clubs. Like, he's just going to get on, play his football, do what he needs to do, and then get off again. Apparently, as well, Wilson pulled him aside, and they've been training one-on-one after training, where he's been doing the same thing. He's just been saying, just keep pinging it in the box. Because if you look, I mean, that was a thunderbolt of an header from Wilson for that.
Yeah.
But what made it was Juve's ball. The way that comes in, you know, if you meet that in the middle of your nut, that's going in the goal just by taking the force of the ball that's coming in. You just got to meet that fucking thing, and it's flying in. So yeah, I'm well excited. Can you imagine if we get Juve and Somerville firing down the left-hand side, and then you got Bowen, and whether it be AWB or KWP, what is with all these three fucking letter things as well, by the way? What is going on? But wherever you got either of them going down, like all of a sudden, West Ham, we're looking like a decent attacking team again.
It's food for thought, Mark. I mean, it's good. It's good to see it, kind of thing. I mean, the interesting thing here, and that's why I've left it on the comments here. I saw this as well, and I don't know if there's any truth to this. I don't know if any of you guys can, back up on this one. Apparently, Aaron Wan-Bissaka went missing, and apparently never turned up for training.
Well, I heard. I'm not sure if it was Gio or Gonzo today, saying that he'd taken a knock in training a few days ago.
You know, that was prior to the Wolves game, was it?
What, the knock?
Yeah, I think. But I could be wrong there. But I
don't
know
maybe. That may have been the one they were referring to. I'm not sure now.
But again, it comes down, it is, Jeff. You get the media on the little wind up and that, and it's very easy, especially where the position we've been in the last couple of games. We're an easy target, aren't we? Anything that's a bit dismantled at West Ham and that. Let's just kind of twist this and make it
makers at West Ham as well, right? The stuff that comes out of that dressing room and makes its way into social media and the public domain, it ain't right. I don't like it. And I know it's all content for us, and Twitter goes mad over it, but it's not very healthy for the football club, I don't think.
No, but
I agree.
It's not healthy in that, and this is why I'm only going to spend 5 minutes on this, because I know it's been covered by a lot of other people already in that, and it's this one here. Obviously, with the protests and boycotts coming up, with the media getting involved, it'd be interesting to see the reactions of Kaczynski, Tripp Smith, as I feel their names wouldn't be, like to be in the mud. But we know it kind of, for some people, it's a bit of a divide. I mean, the funny part about it, this morning coming into work, TalkSport actually highlighted this as well about West Ham and what's going on and stuff like this. So we are in the media, not exactly for the right reasons, but obviously for the wrong reasons. And you've got to look at the board in that respect. And that's my kind of saying it. I mean, like I said, other channels have covered this with the boycotts and that. I mean, Stephen's asking who's going to the demo. I don't know if anyone is. But we've got to, is that enough to get a reaction? I don't know if it does. It's good that we've got the petition and Budge. I know you had Nick on there last night and what was said there. And it's good to see us collectively getting together like that, because obviously at the end of the day, the one thing that the board took away from that was that word behind me there, which says United. And that's the only way, we're going to move forward as a club. But other than that, I mean, that's my take on it. I mean, you guys, you want to say your bit and then we'll move on. Because I know it's a bit contentious for some people, but it's saying that we need change, pure and simple. I mean, like, Levy's done the decent thing. You know, he stood down,
Yeah.
giving someone else to take the
I
mantle and
think-
move the club forward. We needed our owners to do
Yeah,
exactly
I think
the same.
my take on it is very quick, very simple. Is that I'm behind anything that legally forces change or enables change. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be forced, but it has to be enabled. So, you know, I'm behind anything, and whether I can actually be physically at the demonstration or whatever, it remains to be seen. But I'll be there in spirit, and I think that, you know, that we do need change. Simple. That's it.
Yeah.
Go on, Gatesy.
As far as I'm concerned, the starting point is, well, look, the petition. I think we all know that and if people don't know the petition, then I don't know whether you could maybe share a link or something with people to sort of give that bit of traction. Every little helps, as they say. That's one thing, you know, turning up for the demonstration. My intention is to be there 100%. And obviously the Brentford game, the boycott, they will be made to look stupid if we stand together. And here's the thing, guys, is that is in the name of our club, united. We need to be united. We need to be as one on this. If we are serious as a collective, as a fan base, that we need change, then we need to facilitate that. We need to be the driving force behind that, because if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. Yeah, that's the saying. You know, if we just sort of like, you know, moan and groan and sort of grumble and gripe, and then we turn up every Saturday, guess what? Nothing's going to change, because we're turning up. Us customers are just turning up, putting money into David Sullivan's pension pot. He's going to go, thank you very much, and he ain't going to do fuck all. Nothing will change. So we need to start that change. If we're serious about wanting change, then we need to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will come to you in a minute, but-
Right. Well, I'll be at the Palace game, so I'll be at the protest. I actually think it's quite important if we arrange as a fan base something like this, that we get a good turnout for it and it goes off smoothly and we're all well behaved. Because if we go and cause trouble or just a pittance of a turnout, we just look stupid, right? And it devalues us and we'll just get brushed away. But if we can get a turnout in good numbers, well behaved, get some focus on it, I think it makes quite a big statement. The boycott thing, I think, is actually quite a big ask of fans. Won't be so difficult for me if I decide to boycott the Brentford game, because it's a Monday night and it means I don't have to get in at past midnight, and I can stay at home instead of going out in what's probably going to be a wet, windy night and watch it on my telly and have a few beers. So it'd be quite easy for me to boycott that game. But I've got to not relist my ticket, and everyone else who decides to not go needs to not relist their ticket. And you're relying on quite a lot of goodwill there for it to go. If they pull that off, and there's big empty spaces in that stadium, and they really make a statement there, I will doff my cap to them, because I think it will be quite a big achievement to do that, get people on board for that. But good luck to them. We'll see how it goes. Let's see how Palace goes, and well, they might get a bit of momentum from there if they get enough exposure and word gets out.
Yeah.
Jay,
You notice that the momentum's changing. For the media seem to be shining a light on the behaviour of the hierarchy at the club. I mean, I'm not being funny, but do you think that that's something that's slightly changed from previous times, when it's very much seemed to be that the media have poo-pooed any movement against Sullivan, and now it seems to be that the media seem to have a slightly different perspective on things that are going on.
I've got a theory on it. I've got a theory on that, Casey. But let's just hear Jay's point on all of this, because it's going to be very different to us that he's in Spain,
Yeah.
and actually it's going to be very difficult for him to be at the march and B to boycott a game, because clearly it's difficult for him to get to games anyway. So,
That's why he's in the,
Jay, how do you feel about
Budge.
it?
Say, Budge, that's why he's in the petrol station. He's filled his tank up there and he's going to make the move there for it.
Well, first of all, I think that the most basic thing to remember here is that, as I think Tony, you said, is the fact that this protest is because people, in essence, they want change. The way I view the protest for me is I hope that every man, woman and child that turns up sees it as an opportunity to celebrate being a West Ham fan, coming together for a good cause, not out of anger, because we know like that we're already angry, which is why the protest is been booked in. That's why it's going to happen. But if we can just walk into it with an attitude of, do you know what a wonderful example of East London, of West Ham fans, of the community coming together. Don't get pissed up, people. You know, like treat it as a day out to show that, because the thing is, the media and because look, West Ham have got their mitts in the media. We know this. It's interesting what you just said, Kate. So I want to touch on that quickly, but they're going to be looking for any excuse to shoot this down and make it out to be completely, oh, look, they're just thugs and all the rest of the bollocks, blah, 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 blah. Whereas if West Ham turn up and see it as a good old reason for us to come together and march for something we all believe in, then I think it's an opportunity to really show everyone in the Premier League, not just our ball, that actually West Ham fans, we're a special type of people. There's no one like us. We're different in a good way. We've got our own culture. We're Cockneys. No one else can claim that in London. We're the only part of London. We've got our own fucking culture. We're Cockneys. And there's a lot of decency and good morals and principles that come with that. So I see it as an amazing opportunity to show that. Budge, you're right. The most I can do is cut off one of my illegal streams to boycott it, so I don't watch it. But just quickly, I just want to say what Gatesy just said, and I know Budge, your theory on it. I'll be 2 seconds on it.
Please, go on. Go for it.
I personally think the reason at the moment, there's been a change in shift in the media because it's become so big. It's now an opportunity for a good story. The media love a story. They love drama. They love chaos. So that's for me why I think it's not that they've changed their opinion on West Ham fans. It's just because it's become so big. They've seen, whoa, hold on, we've got a story here. So I don't give a shit about Sullivan and that. But yeah, go on, Budge. That was my take on it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. And I also think with that.
Sorry, mate. This one, I mean, Leslie said, will Sully offer some compromise to affect the middle ground fans?
Like what?
He may do.
I can't see it.
On that point of the media thing, though, you've also got to remember that recently and more often you're getting the likes of Dan Lawless and Russ from the network going on to these Talksport and Sky Sports fan chat things, and they're really eloquently putting across the fans' grievances.
I do agree.
And they're really doing a good job of it.
Yeah.
And now Sky Sports, Talksport, and anyone else are now beginning to listen a little more intently, because now instead of, excuse me for saying it, but instead of like idiots like me standing up in front of the London Stadium going, get Sullivan out, you know, instead of that happening, you've now got quite eloquent people sort of on the mainstream media saying, look, you know, our grievance is this, and we were promised this, and we've never seen anything like it, and so on and so forth. Now the media are beginning to take the fan view a little more seriously, because the fans that they're interviewing are a little more serious.
Well, I think to their credit,
Does that make sense?
Sky Sports, whether intentionally or not, have given West Ham fans a bit of a voice on this, which might not necessarily have been voiced otherwise. I don't know if that was the intention of their fan zone get fat, but it's been an opportunity that I thoroughly agree with you that I think everyone who's been on there that I've seen has perhaps raised issues that they might not be expecting. From a fan's perspective, it's absolutely what we want raised.
They represented us 100%.
They've represented us, put their points across so well in such a controlled way that actually it's got people taking a little bit of notice in. So it's brought a little bit of spotlight on us. So I think it's an unintentional consequence of these fan zone things, but I think for us it's brilliant. We should treat it as an opportunity because we feel like we've actually got a bit more of a voice, a West Ham voice.
And that's it. I mean, like I said, I don't want to cover too much on it because we know obviously there's a lot of movement on this now, but it's good that we've made our comments and we'll move on from that now because we're going to cover something else first of all. But before we do that, just comment of the night, Jay, are you out dogging?
And you fucking worked that out, you slag!
Yeah, mate.
Right, he's not in Marbella, he's at Clapham Common.
Yeah.
I'm in the north, mate, Dagenham!
Right, and on that note, we're going to give you the, as always, around this kind of time, a little excerpt, obviously, of the Green Street Elites, and I hope you guys in the chat will like this one as well. So let's just put this forward now.
You're massive, massive. You're massive, massive. Massive.
What do we say about that?
The Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity. I'm probably one of the only guys on the panel, at least, that's actually seen all three of them on the pitch together. So, in a West Ham shirt. But I don't remember much of the experience, but I have seen all three of them walk out into the stadium at Upton Park with 30 odd thousand. In fact, it was more because it was all standing then. It was December 1966. World Cup winners walked out against Newcastle, and it was just bedlam in the stadium when the three of them walked out. For the whole season, that they walked out before the rest of the team or the teams. So yeah, it was quite. And I was like 5 years old and 4 or 5 years old, and it was just an absolute din in the stadium. Really, really, really unforgettable. Even from then to now.
Yeah.
50 odd years later. Any of you guys seen any of them play?
Haven't seen any of them play, but back in the last year, I had the great pleasure of actually meeting and shaking hands with Sir Geoff Hurst and Sir Trevor Brooking.
Nice.
I missed it, Budgie. So I'll let Jay go and I'll come back.
I think Jay's concentrating on his driving at the moment.
Oh, is he driving? Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I missed it.
He's just been flashed by the car opposite.
No, it was basically it's the World Cup winners: Geoff Hurst, Bobby Moore, Martin Peters. Okay. Did you ever get a chance to see any of them play?
I did.
At all?
I did. My first game I ever went.
I'm going to turn my camera off for a second, so carry on.
Was Luton Town versus Fulham. I didn't really understand the significance of that because I was very young. But my uncle took me and he told me you're going to see some greats today. And they were a great team, actually. It was full of greats at that time, but specifically Bobby Moore played for them. I don't really remember very much from the game. I remember the experience because you just do. You're a kid. You remember the terraces and the smell of the grass more than you remember what happened in the game. But I was privileged enough to see Bobby Moore play, but not old enough to understand how privileged I was. And,
exactly the same as me, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have had the very, very great privilege to have dinner with Jeff Hurst in pretty small company, about 25 people, around the table with Jeff Hurst, and he told some nice stories, and I've got a signed poster up here from Jeff Hurst from that dinner, which I'll try and show you, but I don't know how well it'll go. But let's see. Can you see that?
Yep, we can
very
see that.
well.
Beautiful.
Lights shining on it. But
Yes,
signed by the great man himself as well. So
I've stood in front of that frame.
yeah.
So I've seen it.
Yeah. So messed my camera all that up now, but there we are. That'll do.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, so that was a great evening for me and a great privilege to spend some time with him, and with him, listen to some of his stories. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky in that respect.
Yeah, good times, as they say, good times. Usually asking you, Budgie, tell us about the White Horse in 1923. You were only 21 at the time.
I'll tell you what, usual, you keep talking about that White Horse final. I swear to God, I'm going to come and find you. I was not born in 1923.
To be fair, Budgie, someone told me that Antonio was on the bench for that game.
You wanker. I'm never going to fucking live that down, you prick. Oh, mate. He's gone into league with that bloody Anthony Herbert.
Well, there'll be a few in the chat. I'll enjoy that one.
Say to you, Budgie, you're not alone. 67 and the first shot over the bowling was either 68 or 69 for him. So
yeah.
Jay, has anyone pressing their balls against your windscreen at the moment?
What? Why would anybody ask that?
Oh man. Stephen's saying first game for me was 1969 and Clyde Best was playing. I was 6. He looked massive. Clyde Best.
Yeah, I've got a little story about Clyde Best as well, which everyone will enjoy. My brother is a Chelsea fan. He got into a little bit of trouble and had to go and stay with my auntie and uncle, and they thought it'd be a good idea for him to go and stay with my auntie and uncle in Forest Gate so that he could stay out of trouble. And he's like hooked up with a lot of West Ham fans, didn't tell them he was a Chelsea fan, went to a game, Clyde Best hits a ball, misses the goal, hits my brother square in the face, knocks him out. Live on TV.
Live on TV as well.
That's all right. No one noticed. No one noticed. You'll get away with it.
Oh, mate, I keep saying to him, I want to find the footage, put it up on Facebook.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Harry's saying there's some proper old fucks in here tonight. We've got a very diverse age group in here, I must say, which is good. Bestie was a unit for us, yeah, definitely. Before we kind of wrap up, the last subject I want to cover on is Lucas Paqueta and the FA. What the hell are these people trying to prove?
The thing is,
the mobile phone business, for instance, this one in being fined.
Yeah, this is one of the things that they're trying to charge him and fine him for not submitting his phone when requested. Now the thing is, it was a phone they'd already had in their possession for 5 months or something, and then he got it given back to him. He'd already got himself a new phone by then,
Yeah.
and disposed of the phone that they returned to him. And now they're trying to say that he's hiding evidence.
I know. Sorry, I've just
You
got to
see,
go back.
them sort of people need a good drop kick between the legs.
100%. I'm just going to come back to that, Budge, but obviously, the chat, you've got to
Mm.
love what they put in there. You got Leslie saying, first game, 1966 Everton. Frog saying, fuck me,
Mhm.
we will to hit a square fan on the bonds at the London Stadium. And Usual's put, sorry, Budgie, I realised you never got over Rook's drift.
Oh no!
Right, that's it. I'm going to look for your fucking ISP number or whatever it's called.
You've offended him, Usual. What have you done? You've offended him. He's going to write a strongly worded letter to his local MP now.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to have to because I can't tell my mum anymore.
I agree with Billy Bob, though. It's the FA trying to cover their arse. Look, they've had egg put in their face.
Absolutely.
You know, and obviously they're not going to appeal. Obviously, the case. You know, they're not going to appeal that. And this is another way of them trying to get stank on him, which I think is absolutely diabolical. And I'm glad to see that his lawyer has advised him West Ham and Paqueta to sue the arse off of this lot.
Really nice, thank you.
Because I think it's something that needs to be done. I mean, how can you, like you said, Budge, the phone thing? You give him the phone, they get the phone, give it back to him, and then suddenly realise a month later, oh, can we have it back? Well, I've got rid of it.
Yeah.
You had your opportunity to do what you needed to do at the time, and you completely ballsed it up.
Don't start trying to fucking crawl, Usual. I love Budgie. Don't, mate, because I'll tell you, I'll set my missus on you. You'll be fucked then, mate. She goes medieval on your ass.
Matt saying the information they wanted wasn't explained according to his lawyer, but when it was explained, he gave them what they wanted.
Well, I watched Gio's video earlier today, and if anyone hasn't watched that, I suggest they do, because Gio I find he explains things really, really well, and he pulls it off again in this video for me. And he says he's getting done for basically not answering questions in his initial interview, which he was advised not to do. So he's kind of gone no comment, I guess, in the first interview. Obviously, they've gone away and assessed whatever things. So he's getting done. He's getting fined for not cooperating there. Although I think they've saying there's going to be kind of mitigation because they recognise that he was not cooperating through legal advice. Do you know what I mean? So, and then the phone thing. They're clutching, ain't they? They've had the phone. They've took all of the information they need off it. Something about some deleted messages or something. I don't know. All sounds a load of... It's all a bit weak. And again, if you watch Gio's video, the way he explains it, he's read the 314-page document that goes through blow by blow what went on. And he said at one point, like even the FA's prosecutors are like not really quite convinced by their evidence, their own evidence.
Yes, that's
it's
right.
Kind of a bit contradictory. So it all seems a little bit weird. It looks like they're going to slap probably a token fine on him, so he's seen to have a slap on the wrist. It goes on to say, Gio, about West Ham, it gets very complicated for clubs to sue the FA, and actually you could see how messy that might get. So perhaps it's probably better to steer away from that. But from Paqueta's point of view, he might feel like he's got a case and reason to want redress from the FA. Have blocked his move. As Gio said, it's not a question. It's not a matter of might have been. He would have gone to Man City, and had he done so, he would have won the Premier League title with them. So he now doesn't have that medal that he would have had. So, I mean,
and
maybe
the
he's got
wages
redress.
that would have gone with it.
Yeah, sure, but I'm saying maybe he's got redress. Maybe he's got a case to take to the
Yeah.
FA. So I don't know. We'll see in the fullness of time. But if he does, good luck to him, I say.
And
Yeah,
the thing is, he's also got on his side is the time they took to go through all of the process and that,
I don't
and
know.
then request further information and the phone and whatever else after they'd already been 18 months down the line or more.
yeah.
So he's got a pretty good case, I reckon.
Well, the FA's not going to come out clean on this, are they? I mean, they've already made idiots of themselves, and this has just proved it by what they're doing with this. So it's one of those. Big up to Mike's. Thanks for the Mike's raid, mate. I hope you're keeping well, Mikey. Good to see you as always.
Good evening, Mike.
As always, love to see the comments coming in. As always,
Can I just point something out though with that comment that I noticed that you left on the screen for an inordinate length of time, Tony. It didn't escape my attention. Can I just say,
numb, Gatesy, I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
I can't read it when it's on the screen. What did it say?
Basically saying. Gatesy can remember as far as back as the 1923 Cup final.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something now. Bolton Wanderers' second goal was offside.
You was in line with it,
were you, Gatesy?
I'm telling you, if VAR existed in 1923, that goal gets chalked off and we go on to equalise and we'll win it in extra time.
Dear.
Direct quote from David Moyes' testimony. This is my world now. Wow, yeah. Usual just saying to you though, Budge, he goes, all jokes aside, I really appreciate what you do. And he says, though, you can't have long left. But he says you can't have long
You
left.
fucking twat. Usual. Right, I'm gonna tell my missus. You carry on.
Thank you, Sharky. Been a good watch tonight, Tony. Really appreciate it as well.
Cheers, mate.
Good to have the people on board. Fox is like real gentleman service the button without asking. Absolutely. Harry's saying, love when Jay is on. Yeah, it's good to have Jay on. It's been a while. Same as with Gatesy as well. Usual. So I was thinking about that today. That I see West Ham United win a cup. At least under Sully, he's saying there. Matt's following that. He had no betting information on his phone at any stage, according to his lawyer and the independent investigator. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And just a little message to you, usual. Kimmy says, you haven't got long left either, mate. We're going to find you.
Jay, as always, pleasure, my friend.
Cheers, Jay. Good to see you.
Absolutely, and just make sure though, the cold breeze doesn't get your derriere and that when you're doing what you're doing out in the woods. Be careful.
Yeah.
It's all right. He's got some very friendly lady that's leaned in through the driver window, and she's keeping a certain part of his anatomy very warm.
Whilst emptying his wallet of plenty of euros.
It's all right. It won't take long. He'll be back in a minute.
Frog saying the recall of the phone is just pure negligence on the FA's part, 100%. To try and use it as part of their case was idiotic. That's very true. Just bear with me. I'm just going to get rid of that. Don't need them. GP, time flies. I missed the Upton Park days. I think we're all doing that. Good evening to Neo Rad. My kind of stream here. Bet everyone else would get mad when they hold the door open for a lady and get called a twat. No, we're all gentlemen here. We try our best as always.
Yes, exactly that.
I was brought up. I wasn't dragged up.
Absolutely, Rob. That's how it should be, mate. Yeah.
Leslie's saying, big up at the bowling lounge. Show Tuesday, 8 p.m. Sub and like needed. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Leslie.
Yeah. Same as
spread the love.
Yes. Yeah. Usual's love.
And make sure you've liked this stream as well. And all the boys, all the West Ham fan channels, all need your love.
Yes, indeed.
Budgie, as always, you've said about Usual, you ain't got much time either. Harry still hasn't forgotten when Usual does go, he's getting his slippers.
I know what Usual does with his slippers. You don't want them.
Jay said her name's Dave Gatesy.
Oh, pass on my regards.
Her name's
Every competition. Mr. Bong, as always, thank you, chaps. You're most welcome. Good to see you in Israel. Billy Bob saying, Marshall on the 69th minute for Northern Ireland. Good lad. Getting some game time at least.
Yeah, 11 minutes.
This is what a fantastic channel is. Oh, Usual. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. Harry, hope your Quebec enjoyed school today. Of course, yes, back to school. Stephen, good night as well. Great show tonight. Thank you very much, mate, and thanks for your comments as always.
Cheers, Stephen.
Yeah.
Brilliant. She had a good time at school with a 10-week-old kitten called Kevin as well. Nice. Colin saying, gentlemen, it's been a great joining of you.
The next one.
Absolutely brilliant, Colin. Thanks for being with there.
Cheers, Colin.
Dave the Goat, I am Dave.
And that Jay's just realised that sort of all the. He was sitting there thinking, this is going well, but hang on, the hands are a bit calloused. Don't look down. Don't look down.
Exactly. Oh man. And
all right.
Thank you, XO. I think we gathered that they can't, but some people can.
Eric the Eel. So
Eric the Eel. Harry's saying, great show, gentlemen, tonight. Much love and chat. Harry, appreciate you being here as always.
Always appreciate you, mate.
He's sure to go to heaven. Brilliant. Dave says it's Dave with a D, by the way.
He is in Marbella, isn't he, Jay? Not Benidorm.
Marbella, I do believe he's, yeah.
All right, I was going to say he hasn't got the sticky Vickies then.
No, apparently not. But apparently he's got little hands as well, Dave. Apparently.
Oh, makes it look bigger.
Before we wrap up on that, Gacy, what you got coming up on your show, please, sir?
Right. Well, I'm looking to put something together. It's interesting you've asked me that question, Tone. I'm actually probably looking at doing something either tomorrow or Saturday afternoon, evening, and I want to sort of like explore a little bit, because obviously Gonzo did his stream this morning, his recording this morning, where he was looking into the theory of whether there's a potential for a civil war, if you will, and I want to sort of like explore that a little bit further, actually. So I've got a nice little thumbnail that I've put together, and yeah, I'm just sort of like formulating a little plan of attack, so to speak. And yeah, I'm looking to probably do something the next day or two to go out on the channel. That's my next little project.
Super. Thank you very much. GP saying,
can I ask a quick question before we move on?
Of course you can, but as always.
Right. Rob, when are you going to revive the when are you going to revive the what was it, the God, the monument thing that you did? I can't remember what you called it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Mount Matty Rushmore. When are you going to revive that?
Good question.
Come on.
Not
Okay.
to be watching any stuff, Rob. We don't know what it was.
No, I don't even watch it, to be truthful.
Before you go on to what you're going to talk about, I just want to say good morning to David Shear. He says, hey, Tony Cobber and Budgie, 4:30 a.m. here in Australia.
David.
He must know Kieran then.
Yeah, I think
you must know Kieran, surely. Your neighbours, right?
They have spoken.
Yeah, they're on that little island over there.
Yeah, there's not many people there.
Yeah, you're right, there's not many people, but there's a fucking great big distance of land between them all.
Yeah. My sister-in-law actually lives in Australia.
Nice.
Thank you, Dave.
I hope in one day I can repay the favour on Kieran, actually, and fly out there and go and visit him.
I hope you're doing well, David, as well. I think it's all good for yourself, mate. So,
Dog's barking again. I do apologise. Someone knocked at the door.
Quite all right. Quite all right. Jeff, what you got coming up?
We're probably going to have a break this week because of the international break. But we should be back the week after with our Tuesday talk show, 8 o'clock on our YouTube channel. So you could sometimes come on, Tony. It'd be lovely if you can join us in a couple of weeks. Budgie, I'm not very happy with you being far too busy working these days, and it's going to have to stop.
I know, yeah. I know. I'm going to have to make sure I charge my phone up, not work, not have any money to put any more charge in my phone and do the show with you. I promise you, that's what I'll do.
And the guys in the chat miss you, I'm sure. And Rob, if any time you'd like to come on and join us on a Tuesday evening, you'd be welcome if you'd like to.
Absolutely. If ever I'm available, mate, I'm always happy to jump on and chew the fat.
Cool, no problem.
I'd be happy to pass on your WhatsApp contact.
Yeah. Do it.
Right,
yeah,
mate,
no, it's fine.
That.
That'd be great.
Excellent.
Cool.
Happy days.
Yeah, Budge, have you got the 3-in-1 penetrating oil?
Why do I need that?
Is that for Jay?
No, it's for Jay. Because usual saying there's a train strike tomorrow, and he says, Budgie, can I borrow your penny farthing?
Mate, I swear to God, can you borrow my penny farthing?
He hasn't got a penny farthing, but do you remember the Flintstones?
Yeah. Mate, you lot thought scooters were new. I've got one with rock wheels on it.
What was the old Carry On film with the old square wheels and the old bike? They did.
That was
oh God, hang on.
That was Carry On Clio, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. That was hilarious. He used them for winter frames in the end.
Jay has got some 3-in-1 penetrating oil. He says he's got
I thought he might, just for an emergency.
WD-40.
For when you haven't got enough saliva.
This is getting to be very wrong now.
It is past 9 o'clock.
Very true. So just to let you guys know, next week on Wednesday on the Old School Hammers, Kieran and I are just going to have a free-for-all, basically. It's going to be a bit of storytelling. We'll have a chat about music, food, football if you like, but preferably not, because there's not really any West Ham stuff. But, we're just going to have a bit of a free-for-all on Wednesday night next week. Just thought I'd put that out there, Tone, just before we
thanks.
hung up the phone.
Didn't realise this as well, though. Harry's saying Stell looks great for 60. Just found out tonight about his forthcoming op. Sending Stell all the love. And,
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
Hope it all goes well, Stell.
And Stell, he's having to go where I didn't have to, so my thoughts are with him. I know where he's at.
Good.
I know where he's at.
Apparently, Gatesy, it tastes like chicken.
Ooh, good information. And apparently that tastes like frog legs. Apparently, I've never had it myself. I just nah, not for me.
Apparently, alligator tastes like chicken. I've never been.
It does.
Fortunate to get my teeth round an alligator, but you know,
I've had alligator. It does actually taste like chicken, believe it or not.
Does it taste like chicken? Flipping hell. Then it's funny, eh?
Quite nice. David Shear, so who are Spurs fans going to blame now? Levy is out. Postecoglou. It's all down to him.
Yeah.
There you go, David. Postecoglou.
Big Ange. Let's all blame Big Ange.
Mikel Arteta.
Why is he gone though?
The Lewises have actually kind of just made a statement saying that they're still invested in the club and they're going to move it forward and all this stuff. I think
they're going down the route direct to football.
It smells like fish.
I mean, he's just delivered the stadium, right? Now they've just won a European trophy. He's appointed Thomas Frank. building this team, and he stepped away. It just like, and I know he wasn't hugely popular, but he wasn't as hated as our board, was he, among the Spurs fans? So I don't know. Without knowing a bit more about it, and I don't take much notice of other football clubs, just seems a little bit of odd timing.
Unless there's something going on in his personal life.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know, do you?
Could be.
You must know some Spurs fans, surely, Jeff.
If I don't talk to them.
Sign language usually, isn't it, Jeff?
You are a fucking idiot, mate. I swear to God. I don't fucking talk to them, no.
No, but
Well, unfortunately, I do. I talk to a couple, and you'd be surprised how disenchanted the Spurs fan base has been with the board, with Daniel Levy. Oh boy, I'm going lay down.
Yeah.
Go
I have to talk to a Spurs fan.
Fucking call me Jeff.
Oh, Jeff, that fucking killed me. Absolutely killed me.
Yeah, I think you know, over the years they have been wanting Levy out for quite some time, and I think it's a fact of he's built in that stadium, so he goes out on a legacy by building that, you know, that £1 billion stadium. But other than that, he's not exactly been a fan favourite, and he knows it himself.
But he's never seemed to care about that before. He hasn't been. It's not like he's suddenly become unpopular. He's been like unpopular like forever, hasn't he?
Well, what was interesting, you got to think there was a point when Joe Lewis was going to be basically put in prison.
He was going to get locked up, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
why do you think he lives on an island in the middle of who knows where?
Could that be part of the one of the reasons? Again, I mean, like, you know, I said, it's not our club. We're not exactly that concerned about it. We're just hoping that, you know, Sullivan thinks, well, that's not a bad thing. I might do the same, but
fucking wish you would.
Oh, mate, that'd be
never going to happen.
Well, he takes that
never going to happen.
Maybe he took his laptop into PC World. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe Sullivan might just take the credit for leaving, stepping down.
Yeah, we all know what happened to Gary Glitter after that. Be careful.
About saying blame Thomas the Frank engine. Darren Anderson as well. But yeah.
Thomas the Frank engine.
Yeah, Levy's an upgrade on Sully. Levy don't need the money. This is very true. Well, don't forget, I mean, it's interesting to see the Lewises are saying that they're going to still keep in the thing. But the interesting part was when Amanda Staveley and her husband walked away from Newcastle, they walked away with a pretty penny.
Yeah.
And there was talks that they were going to be buying into Spurs. But if the Levy's, the Lewises say they're still being there, that means that she's still walking around with over £500 million in her pocket. So if you're watching Amanda, we're just down the road.
I wouldn't think she's walking around with that much in her actual pocket, son.
I reckon we'll find out where she lives. Find out where she lives. We'll slap a bit of brute round our chops, boys. Bunch of flowers. Take her out for a steak meal. We can convince her to invest in the club, can't we?
Come on, Gatesy. You're the same age as me almost, mate. Wimpy.
You're
Okay,
not really a
all
very
right.
attractive
David, thanks for coming in, mate. Take it easy.
If we think
and, see you next time.
Yeah, no, hold on, Jeff. What we do, right, is we just take her glasses away from her. We just sort of, ply her with a bit of alcohol. Yeah, we could have a go.
We don't own anything. What are the assets? And then you look at the structure of the club of like this percentage here, that percentage there.
Jay,
I just think it's not really that attractive for an investor to come in and buy the gold shares, for example, and get 20 whatever percent of the club or 15%, whatever's on offer. Tinsky's like a lame duck, and he's not interested in the football club, and we're only going to attract more people like him who are willing to just go, I'll buy 15% of that, let them get on with it, and let my money grow, treat it as an investment without really caring or wanting what's best for the football club. So I don't think selling bits of it is the answer. And what he's asking for, what he values the football club at, no one's paying that, are they? To get
Listen, you can never have too many porter cabins, I can tell you that.
Very true, very true.
You know.
Gatesy, just to say on, about putting a bit of brute on and this and the other, that I think we've all missed a trick here. This man here, Jay, the soul coach, and that, he's the one who's going to take Amanda out,
Yeah, go on, Jay.
Go around the woods.
Go on.
Get the WD-40 out.
Take one for the team, Jay. Lie back and think of England.
Leading collar. Don't forget the poop the bags.
Is that for you or for her or him?
Well, mate, if the cat fits, or if it doesn't.
Matt saying, wasn't Amanda Staveley ill though, so that's why she left Newcastle? Well, she was going to leave anyway. The intention was when they first came in, her and her husband had 6% shares, which then went up to 10%, and they were never were going to stay there. They was only there to get the Qataris in. They've got that in there now, and that's the as much as she was ill, that's the reason why her and her husband left. But they walked away with that 10%, which is obviously a nice tidy penny, and be nice if she come our way, but we know that's not going to happen. Levy Sullivan incomparable. Levy just due to spend someone else's money.
That's true. It's very true.
True. So does Sullivan, he spends ours.
Yeah.
Levy would take one look at the mess of West Ham and say, nah.
So, hang on. There was some talk recently, and about the stadium, about whether we can or can't develop it. What is the current status on that? Are we able to redevelop it if there's enough investment or not? Because
we don't have
about the Olympic committee thing. That's is that still part of it or what? I don't know.
We don't have. I can't remember what the terminology is, but Manchester City don't own the Etihad. That's because that was the Commonwealth Games Stadium of 2002. But they have a different agreement in place where they can do XYZ structurally to the stadium. They just put in an extra tier and all that. We don't have that arrangement. I can't remember what it's called. I did a recording about that maybe a couple of months ago. There's some legalese building jargon sort of that it's called. We don't have that in place, and basically because it's
the Olympic
legacy. And the thing is, because it's a government-owned asset, legally, from what I understand, the government can't just turn around to West Ham or West Ham turn around to the government and say, let's sign a piece of paper. You can give us a load of cash and it's yours, lock, stock and barrel. It has to go out to tender.
Right.
Basically, what's happened is Man City didn't negotiate the deal of the century for their stadium, but somehow, with it not being the deal of the century, managed to benefit much more financially and for their supporters than we have with our deal of the century stadium move.
Yeah. But the thing is, the question that I actually posed at the beginning of that, though, was, is there, because of the Olympic legacy, is that the reason we can't redevelop the stadium?
Effectively, yes.
Right, okay.
What you got to remember like this, you got to think, when West Ham and Newham Council bid for the Olympic Stadium, they got it. They want, they were going to become the owners of that ground, and the intention was to redevelop it into a stadium. Then, of course, the problem was at the time you had Levy moaning like nobody's business because Haringey Council was not giving him permission to redevelop White Hart Lane to make it Hotspur Stadium. So, of course,
that's right, and they were actually fighting us for the stadium.
Exactly.
And
got to
Leighton
remember-
Orient.
You've got to remember
And-
Barry Hearn as well, yeah.
I haven't finished there exactly because Barry Hearn was the other one. But you've got to remember with the Spurs thing, then there was obviously the spy in the camp. They give the information out and stuff like this, and then of course there was Barry Hearn saying, "Well, we're only a mile up the road. It should be ours."
Yeah,
Because we're the
and we
closest
fill it up
neighbours.
every week. Fucking
You,
mug.
you know what I mean?
Of course we would. Of course we
And then
would
the
wearing
worst
shirt.
The worst one that came in, got himself involved in it, kind of thing, which I think also put the kibosh on it, and that is obviously the great mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. And this is one of the reasons, he wanted Olympics to still be played, their athletics, whatever way you look at it, wanted to do. And since 2012, tell me now, you on the panel and everyone in the chat, when was the last time you saw athletics played inside that stadium?
The final day of the Olympics.
Nah, there's been athletics since then, but I
there?
honestly couldn't tell you. Yeah, because
There must have been in that 3-year
they held
period.
some whatever they call them. What do they call them?
European finals or something.
The anniversary games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I mean, look, what has happened since we became the tenants in that stadium? What has happened in the way of Olympics or athletics or any other than music events? Nothing else has happened in that stadium other than football games. So surely, and we all know the faults in the stadium. Every time it rains, you have to wear snorkel just to go and have a piss. We all know this, but why is it that we can't redevelop? I mean, there have got to be repairs done, so why not a redevelopment during the repairs?
All right. Well, ultimately,
stage?
it goes back to Seb Coe and his lot, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Who insisted that even regardless of this whatever size stadium that was never going to be filled up for athletics and used on a regular basis, the part of the legacy had to be the athletics. And they should have never really put that caveat on it. And what they should have done is built a stadium for the Olympics, which was then going to be fit for purpose as a football stadium, which it was ultimately going to become. But of course, we know betters and know we've got to have it our way lot, got their way, and so we end up with the white elephant that we've got now, really. That's my opinion. Others might disagree.
So do you think then, lads, all of you on the panel then, do you think then that the next movement or the next, aim for us as fans could be to have have that lifted, that caveat lifted so that we can
How
turn
do
it
you do
into a
that then?
fucking
Sure.
football
I don't think you can.
Well,
That's the thing.
Well, why not? I mean, listen. If you can stop an event from happening, then surely you can. Look, it's only a contract. Contracts can be bought or cancelled and stuff like that. It's just a contract. That's all it is.
But the thing is, with
Surely
You
there
can
must
say
be
about
some
West
way
Ham, couldn't you?
of
It's just a contract,
challenging.
rip it up.
There must be a way of challenging that contract, right?
Yeah,
But there has not been a world finals. There has not been an athletics event in that stadium since 2015.
Well,
right? It
I mean,
hasn't been
I
used
don't
for
know if
the
that's true.
purpose that it was built for,
so there, Budgie,
and they haven't.
You've got James Bong saying at least one World Athletics Championship has been held at the stadium, and Matt's put in there the 19th of July 2025 was the last athletics meeting at the London Stadium.
Yeah, so
This year?
Yeah, Diamond League.
So,
Yeah,
I never even knew that.
Excuse
Diamond
me.
I never even knew that.
Meeting there the other week, Diamond
So,
League. No, it's Jeff.
Everything that I've been saying then is just a load of old bollocks. Just ignore me.
But
I'm an old fart. I was born in the 60s. You don't need to listen to me anymore. That's it.
the problem is, I think, like anything else, yes, you can try and challenge it, but again, it will come down to a majority vote. And of course, if you're outvoted, then you've got no chance.
Also, you got to consider that it would cost an awful lot of money, and that straight away is not going to be something that David Sullivan's going to want to do.
No.
Who's talking about David Sullivan?
Well, he is the current major shareholder, so as things stand at the minute, he would have to be on board.
Let's just say, all of a sudden, Sheikh a lot has decided that he wants to invest in the Premier League, right? So now he has a look and he sees West Ham as a bit of an investment, because now there's been a bit of a wave movement, and the club have challenged this Olympic legacy thing and won, and now they can reinvest and they can rebuild their stadium or whatever. And all of a sudden, Sheikh a lot has decided that he wants to invest, and he does. There has to be a way of challenging that Olympic legacy decision. There has to be.
Yeah, but then you need to get a majority vote, and if you can't get that, then it's not worth nothing. And that's the problem, because old Carl will make sure that whoever kind of puts a challenge in from that, he will make his utmost job to make.
So he needs to be removed from office, then, doesn't he?
He won't be. You know that. There's no way that'll happen. Yeah, I mean,
the thing is, I think you're actually blaming. I think you're blaming the wrong person, though, and I'm no lover of Sadiq Khan, I got to tell you. But I think if you want to look for someone to place the blame on, I think you need to have a look at Sebastian Coe. I think you need to have a look at Boris Johnson. I also think you need to probably also have a look at Ken Livingstone as well, because he was the mayor of London when we won the bid in 2005. I mean, look, I'm not being funny. The Olympic Games from whenever they first formulated the bid, which is pre-2005, it was always going to be in Stratford. Now, they surely should have had the foresight to look and go, right, okay, great, Olympic Stadium, 80,000, whatever, which it was at the time. But we know that we're not an athletics mad country. Once the Olympics fuck off, what is going to happen to this stadium? Hang on a minute. We got a Premier League club down the road. Right. Why don't we get round a table right at the early doors of formulating this plan and see whether there's scope to maybe come to an agreement, and you could design that stadium from the very get-go like the stadium that they had in the Sydney Olympics in 2000, which is a multi-purpose stadium where the stands can move in, go out, to host athletics, to host rugby league, to host rugby union, to host football, you name it, that stadium could host it. But instead we had this situation where they didn't join the dots right from the get-go. They didn't join the dots. They just sort of kept the two things separate. And by the time they switched on to what the reality of the situation was, it was too late. The stadium had been designed and they were already in the process of building it, and it was too late. The die was cast at that point. So for me, it's not Sadiq Khan. And like I say, I repeat, I'm not trying to defend Sadiq Khan. I'm no lover of his, but this isn't on him.
Yeah, I agree. You're kind of echoing what I said there, Rob, to be honest.
And I hate to say that I think
different way, but I agree totally with you about that. And if they want to make it a multi-purpose stadium, as you suggested, to host all kinds of events, but they didn't have the foresight. What they did it was that athletics legacy that they got so bogged down in, that they were so determined had to be the most important thing. Although at the end of the Olympics, when this was all over, for the future of the stadium and future use of the stadium, it was never going to be just sustained by athletics.
No.
You've seen it across the world, Jeff. Wherever they've held the Olympics, and they're mothballed, they're falling apart. They're derelict. They're just abandoned.
Sydney's the exception to the rule, isn't it? And as I say, that's because it was designed as a multi-purpose stadium. They had the foresight, the Australians, to say, right, we need to make this stadium something that is used essentially 12 months of the year. as opposed to an athletic stadium, which, I mean, you've got an athletic stadium in Crystal Palace that is literally falling to pieces. You've got, you know, all sorts of, you know, other stadiums that are athletic stadium, like one in Birmingham, whatever. And it's like, they just sit there. They don't do fuck all.
Well, they built the brand new, you know, place up. Was it Coventry, isn't they? Anyway, that's it's emotional being held up there as it is.
Yeah, really poor decision making by just the same old crowd making the same poor decisions, right?
Yeah.
Nothing really changes. It wasn't going to. Don't worry, this one isn't going to be a white elephant because everyone says it's going to be a white elephant, right? No, it's not. We're going to do it this, and it's going to be that. Really, they just lack the forward planning, like you said, Robert. They could have. In my opinion, I agree. I think there's enough athletics venues around for the demand and for the spectators that attend athletics. I think there's enough venues for it. So I think it was just a bit pie in the sky to have this London Stadium athletic thing. They should have designed
what does that aquatic centre opposite the stadium do?
A football stadium.
I think they're still used as well, Budge.
They're still used. They use the copper box for boxing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not all.
And what about the cycle velodrome thing?
I think they still have stuff in there as well.
Velodrome,
really?
Yeah, I think I think it still does. Budge, I don't know what you've done to usual on that. He really loves you tonight. Budgie hasn't been the same since avoiding the Black Death and the Plague.
Oh, that's mean. True, but mean.
It's because you didn't turn up on Tuesday. He's taking it out on you, mate.
Where's my fucking eyepiece scanner? I've got one here somewhere. I know I have. I'm coming for you, usual.
I mean, Matt's saying here, remove the running track and boom, proper football stadium with a bit of renovation, repairs here and there. Thing is, though, you've got the retractable seating that's sitting there and it's ain't damn bugger all since they put it in.
You see, the thing is, with the London Stadium, now, there's been a lot of talk recently about this safe standing section that could be implemented in some stadium around the country. London Stadium's perfect for it. Perfect. Because if we're honest, the seating at the stadium is far from perfect. Okay. And it could do with a major redesign, right? To be fair, the actual shape of the stadium with the roofy bits and, you know, the bowl, as it were, isn't so unattractive if you're into modern stadiums. Okay, it's just that the fact that the seating is more suitable for a concert than it is for football, to be fair. Or for athletics, you know. So if that could be majorly redesigned, you know, with the amount of free space in between the seating and the actual pitch itself, safe standing could be implemented around that stadium. You could have maybe 8,000 to 10,000 people standing around that stadium because of the amount of dead space in there. Look at that Heineken bar bit. Doesn't get used on game day at all. And it's all down, you know, behind the goal on that Bobby Moore end.
Actually, I'm going to say I was there for the Chelsea game because it's now Brewdog, isn't it, that they use in the stadium? Yeah. And I'll tell you what, actually, it was in use at half time quite readily, to be fair, Budge. Yeah, but just one other thing on that dead space. Unfortunately, mate, you got to remember that you got all these fucking tourists turning up with these buckets of popcorn. They need the extra space.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
I think the problem,
and I suppose with the safe standing thing, you've also got to remember that you've got to increase the stewarding as well, and that's got to be kind of more than doubled. I would have thought if it was safe, if it's standing areas, purely and simply because there's no actual safety in being able to sit down or whatever, you know. I suppose, you know, but I mean, the thing is, the FA have already said that they're ready to start implementing it. So
I thought they already had. I thought that they'd put it in part of the away section in the upper tiers. That's what I was led to understand.
Oh, really?
Don't
What, at the
know whether
London Stadium?
Yeah, that's what I don't know whether it has or it is going to be, but I heard a whisper that
did you say?
I heard that they were looking to trial it, and I heard that where they were going to start it was the upper section of where the away fans go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard it was they're going to be there. Now I don't know whether that was an urban whisper that I heard that was erroneous. I don't know whether it was fact, but that's what I heard.
You could put it, didn't it?
I fucking love that word. I love that word, erroneous.
Erroneous.
I don't know what it means, but it's a really good word. What does it mean?
That's your name for next week, Budgie. You know that, didn't you? That's coming out for next week.
The erroneous Budgie.
Erroneous.
What does it mean, first, Rob? Before we start calling me erroneous.
It literally means in error.
Yeah. You can use that one as much as you like, so.
Have you ever been to a stadium where they have the safe standing? Have you ever experienced it, boys?
Not in recent years, no.
No, well they've got it at Old Trafford. They've got it at Portman Road, and they also have it at the Stadium of Light. And I know that because I went there the last couple of months, and I'll be honest, mate. I thought it was really good. For me, I think it's the way forward because I hate fucking sitting down. I don't sit down, and I know sort of
dog shit, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm quite lucky in that regard because where I sit, in inverted commas, I'm actually as far back as you can get in the stadium, and there's no one behind me. Well, no one behind me that's still in the stadium. So I can stand up to me heart's content.
Oh, I've sat up there.
And you still get told to sit down by those idiots in them fluorescent jackets.
Well, some of them do.
Sit down. Yeah.
So it depends. Some of them, they come up the stairs, and to be honest, by the time they get to the top of the stairs, stand there for 20 seconds, turn around and go back down. I think they're so sort of knackered and demoralised that they see me standing up and they just go, I can't be bothered getting into an argument with him.
Oh, mate, not him again.
Yeah. They're just, leave him alone. It's fine. He ain't doing any harm.
While we're on there,
brilliant.
Just say hello to Adam as well from Desert Job TV before.
Adam!
Evening, Adam. How are you, sir?
Good man.
You're saying, Jeff?
Yeah, one thing I'll say I'm happy about my seats is that we are standing down there and they're not telling us to sit down. So happy days, because I know that does happen different areas of the stadium. And
where are your seats then?
They're not far from happy actually.
All right, nice. Bobby Moore lower.
Yeah, I'm about in line with the 6-yard line.
Right.
So it's a matter of time before you'll get a shitty letter from them, Jeff. I got to tell you.
Well, everyone was standing up around me at Chelsea, so I had to. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see anything, Rob.
Yeah, you know what they're like, though. It's only a matter of time before you sort of you get some shitty email from the club. Yeah, it's part of the safety protocols. Wankers.
I have been down there a few times, though. And
not that you've ever had that letter, Rob.
We've always stood up down there, though, when I've been there. So
yeah,
it does seem one of them areas that you get away with it.
Wait, listen. I can have a ticket for the Trevor Brooking upper and still be in the Bobby Moore lower. It doesn't really stop you from moving around the stadium.
No, it doesn't, does it?
And no,
they want to check that thing, though, don't they, to get in the lower tier? That's the only thing. As long as you've got like a...
Well, they do now. They do now.
Block, you're all right.
Well, I mean, just on a different note, I mean, Gacy, you said you like standing and that. Are you going to take up the new seats that Ryanair are offering? Standing up in a plane for a couple of hours?
Yeah, I think I'll pass, thanks. Yeah. Oh, make that little fucking Irish prick richer. No, thank you.
Standing room only and free Guinness on your journey.
Or I'll tell you what, maybe I'll just sort of like, can I have the seat called the Kazi, please, Mr. O'Leary? That'll do. I'll just go on the crapper for the flight.
Yeah, that's the next thing they're going to be. I think they've trialled it already, and that's the next thing that they're going to be doing. Let's just bring him on before we actually go, and that is Adam. Good evening, sir.
Adam.
Evening, chaps.
Good evening,
Getting on, right?
Yeah, good
Adam.
Gatesy, Zippy, come on, do your Zippy impression. I've missed that.
Oh no, it's too late for that. Ad. Come on, catch me another time of day, and I might sort of, I might succeed to your request.
So
And it's rather painful in a pair of boxers, isn't it, Rob?
You said I was in a pair of boxers.
Oh, mate, stop it.
Good evening.
I might be going commando here, mate.
Mate, I've got Amazon boxes on. They're really cardboard.
Oh no!
You'll take them out the packet, you nutcase.
Oh, right.
Either
Sorry.
overstubble. Oh man. I mean, how you been, Adam? Anyway, mate? Been busy?
Yeah,
or?
not too bad. Just come off a live stream myself. Had my dad on, and we done a quick quiz about footballing club mascots. I mean,
Ooh.
who knew Hoopy the Hurdle Hound was the mascot of Celtic?
Hoopy the what?
Hoopy the. I'll try and get it out done.
Hurdle hound.
Hoopy
Oh
the Hurdle
my.
Hound.
Who's the hurdle hound?
Do you know what? I might have actually worked that one out.
You might have guessed, might you?
Yeah.
I might, because obviously, if you think about it, Hoopy, well, they're the hoops, aren't they?
Yeah, I might have.
And the huddle, that's what they do before the game, don't they?
Ah, that's a good bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
What about Hangus the monkey?
Oh, that's Hartlepool.
Yeah, that's like, so you would have smashed this quiz, mate. That's
Monkey hangers.
Broxy Bear.
Say again.
Broxy Bear.
Roxy Bear.
Roxy.
Roxy.
Let me think.
Night, Brendan. Anyway, have a good night.
I'll tell you what, it's probably completely wrong. I'm going to go, since you said Celtic earlier, I'm going to go Rangers.
That's a great shout. Correct. 3 out of 3. Well done,
Wow,
Gatesy.
bloody hell, Gatesy.
Oi, oi.
Was that right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Ibrox.
Anyway.
Ibrox, yeah. There you go. Well, I'm
Oh,
off
yeah,
this
of course it is.
Damn, he's got it all correct. I must admit, Adam, watching you and your old man and that, it's a good combination. It works really well. As you got on with technology, is he still good with the technology?
Well, yeah, I want to say yes, but after tonight, no, because he kept he was doing it off his phone, and he kept like swerving it like that. But he swerved it at a direction, and he pointed it towards my nan's bedroom, and she's standing at the door wearing a nightdress. So I'm like, Dad, turn the camera off, mate, please. Everyone got a full zoom of my 86-year-old nan. So
Marvellous.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I wanted to say that the relationship between you and him, though, it's like you've known each other all your lives.
You know what? I said that as my best man speech at his wedding. So
Really?
yeah.
GP saying here, apparently Timmy Mallet supposedly got West Ham United to remove our Mallet mascot in the 90s for copyright.
Oh, really? Let's all
Yeah.
go round to Timmy Mallet's house and hit him with it.
Yeah, piss in his eyes.
Around before him, weren't they? We should have copyright strike it.
Yeah, exactly, you know what I mean? Harry saying
He's probably a mate of that fella anyway, wasn't he?
Doesn't he
What's
do
his
like
name?
watercolours on cycling routes now, Timmy Mallet?
Does he?
Fucking hell, man. Don't
Yeah.
worry about you if that's the sort of knowledge you've got, mate.
Mate, it's not knowledge, it's just TikTok. You go down a TikTok wall
Oh, is that
don't
what
you?
it
And
is?
you just-
Is that what's on TikTok? Jesus.
you do your bath time scouting for foot players that you're looking at, and they go around and go, "What the fuck's Timmy Mallet on a bike painting the swan?" You're like, I'll chuck the phone away, like, give him a bubble bath. Yeah, so
Deary me.
yeah, a bit sad.
Was that you or was that Litland?
Well,
They're good at that one.
I done a Paqueta. I chucked the phone away. That's what I did. What's your thoughts on Levy leaving? I know it's a Tottenham subject, but it could be related to West Ham.
Well, he's stepping down from his position. He's not leaving. Apparently.
Do you think that is an independent football regulator link? That position move?
Oh, that could be, actually. I never even thought about that.
How do you mean?
Because I'm saying because obviously as of July this year, the independent football regulators were passed by royal assent. So that means now that they can come into full effect from autumn this year, which is next month. Now, isn't it a coincidence that Levy, who's been a director of Spurs for 24 years, has stepped down or been forced out by ENIC a month before they come into full effect? Isn't that a coincidence, don't you think?
Actually, Adam, because when we were talking about this earlier, which we have
David Sullivan next week.
I did say it seems a little bit odd to me that he's just delivered the stadium, they've just won a trophy, he's building this team, he's appointed Thomas Frank, etc., and then he's just stepping away. And I said, that seems a little bit odd, and I wonder what is behind that. And I hadn't thought about it the way you presented it, but now you've said that, I don't know, maybe there is a question mark over that. I'd be interested to see what anyone else thinks about that.
Yeah, because clubs now have to abide to rules and guidelines, like a point criteria to be a good running footballing club. And funny enough, West Ham don't meet a lot of them criterias.
But does Levy fail?
Levy fails. I think it's a financial reinvestment, isn't it? Because they've held off and they've not purchased the players that they've sold. You look at historical, they don't spend money well in terms of, for instance, they got the money for Gareth Bale and ended up buying someone in this Kabul.
They don't spend their money well. David Sullivan says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, you know.
I mean, I'm not an IFR
Or get me a
expert
bit.
at all. I mean, I'm probably not get someone else on there to talk about it. But there's a load of list of criterias there which raises alarms, and I think Levy is the first of many directors that are going to be stepping down from football over the next year.
Actually, it's funny you should mention that. But Gio did a video on that, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's five. I think when it was announced this board was going to be put into action, I think it was five that tried to oppose it, but it still got pushed through by the government. So
West Ham, Tottenham, Man United, Man City. I can name them all. I bet you. Man United, Man City, West Ham, Tottenham, and Arsenal.
Is that usual? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Brilliant, usual.
So is Karen Brady worried that sort of like that she's not going to maybe have enough money to get her next boob job or something? I don't know. Is that why she's dead against it?
I don't know. A net boob job. It'd be some net, wouldn't
it?
But maybe, yeah, I don't know. But I say there's a lot of things there in terms of politically. I think we need to be looking at movements at other clubs and what they're doing, as I think Spurs one is quite alarming. The fact that Levy had an interview last month saying how much he wants to win the Premier League at Spurs. I know it's laughable, a laughable statement, but he still said it, and you don't say that if apparently all these plans have been in place for the past 3 months by ENIC. It's just weird. It's just weird.
No, it is. I agree. I was asking this. I didn't know about the IRL thing or link it in any way whatsoever, but I say we touched on it, and I was just seems out of the blue. And as I say, if you put his list of achievements up, and you wouldn't say that he would consider that, oh, I finished the job, so look at me walk away. You'd think he'd look at me putting us on the road too. So it does seem odd to me a little bit.
Yeah. I think give it a week or so and it'll all come out.
Yeah. And it's a matter of him.
I mean, it wasn't Gio that did the video. It was a Gonzo video, and he went into this IFL or whatever it's called. He was actually spot on with a lot of the stuff he said. A lot of it. and it all made sense. And now, all of a sudden, as you said, Adam, now Daniel Levy's stepping down. I think it's going to be a snowball effect. Maybe not an avalanche, but I think it'll be a snowball effect.
He's walked before he's been pushed. Effectively,
Yeah.
he's definitely his head held high before it's come into place.
And unfortunately, Sullivan, he's like a fucking tree stump, and he's so deep rooted into the ground and that we ain't going to shift that.
I find Fresh's comment there quite concerning. Although I'm not quite sure. And I'm not saying that you're sort of like wrong, Fresh. I just don't. I can't get my head around that one. You know, I think he would. Well, the thing is,
it was Ann Summers.
But the thing is, though, right? Here's the thing. He's obviously been basically the main man at Tottenham. I know he didn't own it. It was Joe Lewis. He was an employee of Joe Lewis. I get that. But he was effectively in charge of the day-to-day running of Tottenham Hotspur. Now, whether he did a good job is up for debate. But
he was a figurehead, and he liked it, didn't he? He liked
it.
He loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, if he bought David Gold's shares, he's not got any real power at the club, has he? Because David Sullivan will still be the majority shareholder. Daniel Christensen. Yeah, but the thing is, also, him coming here, I'm not being funny. I think, as far as the fans are concerned, he'd be about as popular as a Savaloy at a bar mitzvah. Well, he would. None of us would want him. The bloody Tottenham fans didn't want him. We fucking don't want him.
I agree with you, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier as well about, is our club really that attractive? Like, you know, Levy buying, 15% or 20% or whatever's on offer.
Not
be a bit part player in this consortium setup that we have. It just doesn't. I can't see it.
Yeah, but you got to think of this as well, and maybe you're not considering this. We've got one person at the moment who's the second main shareholder that does basically bugger all, and all he wants to see is a return back on his investment. So if Levy can stump up 189 million in that, Paqueta could be gone as well. And if he buys up the gold shares, because no doubt he's going to have the money behind him, Daniel Levy, without a foul.
How can he ever return his investment if a club is constantly in debt?
Well, they may be in debt, but he is an investor. He will want his money back, regardless of what our financial status is. He will want his money back.
But what is share? Each individual share is worth is what is each individual share is worth, and investments can go down as well as up, and all of that caveat, right? So just because he's put, just say 100 million in, you can't just go, I'm pulling now. Where's my 100 million? Because if what your share of the club isn't worth 100 million anymore, and it's worth 80 million, that's what you can achieve, right? You lose 20 million. And if it's 120 million, equally you make 20 million, right? It's not a guarantee by investing, but the value of his shares, the way Sullivan, at least,
I've got a question though.
Have gone up, right?
I've got a question though. If, and it's a massive if, Daniel Levy was to buy up the gold shares and the Krasinski shares, wouldn't that be a conflict of interest in the Premier League?
No, he stood down.
Bearing in mind that he's family linked to Tottenham.
He stood down though, Budgie. He stood down, so there's no allegiance there.
He might have done, but his missus is still the owner's daughter.
I think once he's relinquished,
I think that the chances of Daniel Levy investing in West Ham are 0 to -9 million.
Well,
right, because
you can still be a
because I don't think that
and move on somewhere else. You can
I don't think the Monopolies Board or whatever it is that fucking does all that bullshit. I don't think they would allow it because of his family investment in Tottenham.
If they become non-executive directors, then they can do.
We're talking about is he going to invest in it? But we started this conversation by saying he's been ousted by Tottenham because of these new legislations coming and he might not fit the criteria. So if he ain't going to fit the criteria to hold a position at Tottenham, how's he going to fit the criteria to hold a position at West Ham, whether he's got the money or not?
Absolutely.
On the money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We don't want their cheap knockoffs.
Yeah, and would West Ham be in his best interest? Or would his best interest be in West Ham? Absolutely not.
Well, I
In
mean,
my opinion.
what's happening with this American consulting thing? Because that is seemed to have died a complete death.
I don't know, mate. Perhaps you should get in touch with them and tell them to shift it. We need some investment real fucking soon.
No one wants to buy a little bit of this club to give Sullivan a bit more money for him to go and fucking play with, right? That's what it boils down to.
Very true, yes. Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
I mean, a great one from James Bong here. Why don't our fan group look at collectively buying some shares at West Ham? I mean, you know, when you look at certain places, they've got this so-called golden share. So whatever happens in that, it has to go. They've got the final vote in it, kind of thing. Why don't we have something like that?
Thing is, how much would that cost?
I can guarantee you now that the board that we've got at the moment would not allow fans to buy enough shares to have a say in anything. Guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Set the trend.
There's no way Sullivan is going to have anybody else telling him what to do. No way.
No. That's why Sullivan still maintains the majority shareholders in the club.
Exactly that. And always has.
Yeah, I get that, Daniel. I mean, like,
Even when gold was alive.
Big up Daniel as well. He's saying he's still a shareholder at Tottenham, but he's not involved in anything to do with the club anymore. So, I mean, the main thing is here.
Yeah.
It depends on the percentage of shares he's got as well.
So he actually is legally not allowed to invest in West Ham.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. See, that thing with
any
the
of that, no.
It doesn't punish stakeholders, or it doesn't determine who's fit and proper for owning a club. It's the running of the club. So Levy's position is the one that's tenable, is the one that's been
Sullivan
relinquished.
Now also.
But yeah, so Sullivan would have to relinquish his role as chairman, but he can still be the owner of the club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what Hammers United and the FAB have written the letter to ask them to step down from those roles, because they've done their research into the IFR criteria.
But doesn't that also mean that a competent body has to be put in place?
Yes.
You can't just go and say, right, okay then, I'll put my son in place then, Jack Sullivan.
That's correct. Yeah, there has to be a fit and
there has
proper
to be a
person that they need to
competent
qualify
body,
for.
Right, cool.
And
even Mark
Jack
Noble
in
won't
place,
be.
but he has to meet the criteria, right?
Yeah,
if he meets the criteria, then he could take the post, I presume.
He can, if he meets the criteria, then yes, he's got the right.
It's not as simple as he can't just do that, is it? He can appoint whomever he chooses to do that role, as long as they meet the criteria that is set out.
Yeah.
Thing is, how robust is that criteria? I ask myself, because how many times? Yeah, and that's the danger, isn't it? Because it's like, how many times have you heard of a club getting run into the ground by some muppet who, some way, somehow, a little while previous, passed for a fit and proper persons test, or whatever it's bloody called?
Yeah, so exactly. I mean, like Fox put here, look, if someone competent has to be in place, how the fuck is Sullivan in then? And it's probably It's probably before that fit and proper test. That's the problem, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the competence requirements are actually going to come into place next month, as you said, Adam. So therefore, the judgments won't come until after they have been put into place. So then we would assume that Sullivan's not going to meet the requirements.
Yeah,
right? That's our assumption.
Here's a bit of reading for you. I've just found a criteria list, what I sent to my co-host last night to talk about this. So
Okay.
here's the overview of the Football Governance Bill Act. Number 1, creation of an independent football regulator. A standalone body, independent of both government and football authorities, is permanently established to oversee clubs across the top 5 men's tiers, Premier League down to National League. Number 2, owners and directors suitability tests. New purchasers must pass the rigorous test evaluating integrity, financial soundness, source of funds, and require a sustainable business plan. Existing owners can also be assessed and deemed unsuitable under the licensing regime. Number 3, licensing system for clubs. Clubs must obtain licenses to participate in their leagues, starting a provisional 3-year licence leading to full licence. Licenses cover financial resilience, fan engagement, governance and heritage protections. Now, heritage protections is quite key, because what heritage does West Ham have now since moving stadium? They have no ownership of their heritage.
Yeah.
We don't even own the stadium that we play in.
No,
We've got porter cabins.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4, broader powers of oversight. The IFR could intervene in financial distributions such as deals between the Premier League and EFL to ensure a fair outcome. Clubs must consult fans on major issues such as ticket pricing, heritage matters, i.e. crest changes, stadium sales and even relocation proposals. Number 5, enforcement tools. Removal or disqualification. Removal direction. If an owner or officer is judged unsuitable, the IFR can direct them to relinquish control by a deadline after consulting the club and league. Ownership removal orders. As per clause 43, if the individual fails to comply, the IFR can issue an order requiring them to cease ownership. This can appoint trustees, force actions, even manage the club according to IFR instructions. Trustees must be independent and skilled, and all club stakeholders must cooperate fully. And the final one, number 6, the Football Governance Act 2025 received royal assent on the 21st of July and is now law. So those are the points for the Football Governance Act bill. So a lot of them bits in that did not favour Sullivan and Cameron Brady.
And it's interesting because if Tottenham thought Levy's going to fail this for whatever reasons, the way he conducts himself, when they've oofed him out to preempt this, it is, if Sullivan and Brady actually believe what they preach, they might actually get blindsided by this, because they believe, or they tell us that they believe that they're doing a great job. And if they genuinely believe that, yeah, they could be in trouble, couldn't they? Because none of us think they're doing a great job.
Yeah, they could be ousted, and then all of a sudden West Ham could be run by drinking IPA or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm kind of joking, but not joking. It could literally be, you know, Fred Wilson's solicitor's office down the road from me or whatever, you know, that could be running our club, which is a worry, a real worry. Because even though they're competent in running such a business, so to speak, because they've been appointed by this governing body, you know, it's a worry, because it might be that they're going to be so disassociated from the club as a club. Where will their influence take the club? Do you know what I mean? It's a worry. I think there has to be something in place, that there has to be somebody in line ready to go, rather than just select a solicitor's office from Birmingham or wherever.
Yeah,
I don't think that the authority appoint the person, though, do they?
No,
for the club
they
appoint the person.
Well, who would?
And the authority to determine whether that's a fit and proper person, or whatever the terminology will be for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what they'll have to do then, they have to call like an extraordinary meeting to get someone to actually kind of take ownership. That's what they'll have to do, something like that.
Yeah, and then potentially this could open up a transfer market for board of directors, couldn't it? Because
Absolutely.
you could actually end up buying these directors like you would do managers to run football clubs.
Yeah.
True.
Jim White wearing his yellow tie. Deadline day.
You imagine it. You imagine it.
The debts to that, the club, the debts to that.
I mean, Dan United saying here, apparently Marquinhos bought Forest at the time, or Maranakis, should I say, bought Forest at the time because they were in the Championship and the Football League fit in persons test was easier to pass at the time. And of course, it has changed.
That won't be relevant now because it affects the top 5 English football leagues.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to what you said, Budge, and if it is Green King in there, at least you know the beer's going to taste better than the shit they're selling at the moment, so you'll be all right on that score.
Well, you know, I mean, listen, there are other beers available, but what I'm going to say is that if you're going to go for an IPA, Green King isn't the bad one. That's all I'm saying. But there is a worry that, you know, that whoever is appointed, I mean, they have to be appointed by somebody. Who is it that appoints them? Sorry, did you already cover that?
Well, the club appoints who the figurehead is going to be, and then the authority vets who the figurehead is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've said that, Leon. We said it has been passed.
Right.
Yeah, it's been passed,
so who then speaks for the club in that position then? So let's just say that David Sullivan and Garen Brady have been removed.
Right.
Who is the spokesman for the club now?
The person who's appointed. Let's say they appoint you, Budgie. We're going to stand.
Danny Dyer.
And it's Danny Dyer. We're going to appoint Danny Dyer. And Danny Dyer goes through the test, and now
So we are going to get Ancelotti then.
he's the figurehead of the club, unless I misunderstand it. But Adam, you seem pretty across this. I think you should answer that.
No, but see, the thing is, the point I'm not getting is that David Sullivan and Karen Brady are removed from the club.
Not necessarily.
And no, I'm talking about under these new rules and guidelines.
But under these new rules,
let's just say they're found to be incompetent, and the club is being run badly, unsustainably, etc. So they're removed from the club. They've got to relinquish their ownership, and now somebody has got to be appointed as the chief executive of the club. Yeah, who appoints that chief executive to West Ham?
So it'll be the governing body. It'd be
the club.
Who is the governing body?
So this
IFR?
Yeah. So they'll make the decision from that point, because at the end of the day, what they'll do.
They make the appointment.
And that's my worry. What if it's a solicitor from Birmingham or Edinburgh or somewhere?
Well, no. They have to pass a fit and proper test, and also they don't meet the criteria. You know, and plus the fact, if you look at it, it's making sure that it's got to be from a football background. You can't just have.
I think what Budgie is worried about is who's going to be responsible in ensuring the people that are fit and proper to run these clubs, because that's
it's got to be somebody that's fit and proper to run West Ham United. I don't give a fuck about any other club. I don't care whether he's fit and proper to run Celtic or Fibonacci or whatever. He has to be fit and proper to run West Ham United. Otherwise, I don't want him here.
That's
the thing is, Budgie, this panel, what are they? Authority. Yeah. If you're fit enough to run Celtic, or you're fit enough to run Sheffield Wednesday, you'll be fit enough to run West Ham in their eyes, because it's not about what your allegiance is to the club, or it's about your qualifications, isn't it? And
absolutely, yeah.
I understand that, but as a West Ham fan, I want someone that's going to be actually looking at making West Ham progress in some way. I don't want someone who's just going to go, okay, let's get them ticking over nicely. I don't want that.
Well,
I want someone that's going to come into this club and go, this is fucking Champions League football. I want Champions League football from this club. Or I want, the World Club Cup. Or I don't know. I know it's a big fucking dream. But what I don't want is a solicitor from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Well,
And I keep saying it.
if you look
But
at
I
it,
don't
you're
want
the
just
best one.
somebody that's just passed the fit and proper test because he loves Birmingham City or he loves fucking, Yeovil Town or something.
Budge, you're the best one as an example. That's basically your brother. Yeah. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's a Chelsea fan, and who appointed Todd Bowley?
Well, he didn't.
So
He ain't actually got a vote himself.
Who appointed Todd Bowley?
Well, I suppose it was the Chelsea fan base, I suppose. I don't know.
No,
I actually don't know.
it was the government.
Hey?
It was the government. They ousted Abramovich.
I see what you're coming from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
They ousted the Abramovich because of what was going on, and
Okay.
Todd
Oh,
Bowley
yeah,
was one who was interested.
but Todd Bowley had already shown an interest in purchasing the club.
Okay, but see, they didn't really
And they
appoint
felt that he was
Bowley
the best.
in that respect. But what they did, they enforced a change of ownership, didn't they?
Exactly.
Yes, that's what they did. That's what they did.
And that's
What my worry is,
They can
what
do
my
any
worry
club, any
is,
club
right?
they could do that with, Budge. Any club.
Yeah, but what
And
my
that's where
worry
it's
is that like the guys that have the ownership now at Newcastle United, right? Now they've made a lot of promises. I don't know how many of them they've begun to implement or whatever, but they've made a lot of promises. And from what I've seen, read, and heard, is that the ownership at Newcastle, albeit a nation, have promised to invest in the infrastructure of the city, right? And apparently that's begun to start happening. The ownership at Brighton have said that they will invest in their development systems and this, that, and the other. They've been doing it. The ownership at Brentford have been doing exactly what they said they would do. The ownership at West Ham United have been fucking pulling the wool over our eyes for the last 12, 14 years, right? They've dragged us through fucking relegation and all this because they won't spend the money to improve the standard of football and this, that, and the other. They've robbed us of our fucking home of 100 years or whatever it was, and they forced us to play in a stadium that's not fit for purpose. It leaks like a fucking sieve. And I've got to be honest, I'm really sick of this ownership. And I just want someone to put a bullet in all their heads. And I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But the fact is that
Budgie used the word
something needs to happen. But what we need is a legal change of ownership. That's what we need, is a legal change of ownership. But all I'm hoping is that if it is through this IFR or whatever it is, I hope that if that is done, that they look at it and like they did with the Chelsea scenario and go, well, this guy's already shown an interest in this club. Let's approach him and see what he's got to offer. Do you know what I mean? I just hope they do that because someone that's already shown an interest in this club will be better than somebody that knows nothing about it.
Will it?
In my opinion.
What if that person who showed an interest happened to be David Sullivan then? So let's rewind. David Sullivan's not the owner, right? And we're going to paint the scenario you just painted. I mean, that fellow over there showed an interest in the football club, so he must be the right man. Well, history tells us David Sullivan.
Yeah, but he's got to pass that fit and proper. He's got to pass that fit and proper test.
And the test at the time he passed, right? And here we are today.
Yep.
And I think the reasons behind Abramovich being removed from Chelsea, very far removed from the Saudi owners at Newcastle,
It's
our
a
owners.
very unique instance with Chelsea one.
Yeah, you know, our owners, the Glazers at Manchester United, any other set of dissatisfied fans with their board. It's very hard to find like a set of circumstances like that. It's pretty unique.
Yeah, it wasn't just Chelsea that it affected either.
No, it wasn't. Everton got collared a bit by it, didn't they?
That's it, because Usmanov sponsored the
Usmanov,
training facilities and then they had to pull out of it. So Everton lost £30 million a year.
Gentlemen, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to go because A, I'm really busting to use the bathroom. B, I've got a dinner sitting on the side out there that I really need to go and eat because I'm going to get bothered by this.
Well, I'll just see the time, Budge. We are going to wrap it up.
We're around 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a long one.
We've covered.
Sorry, guys.
And when you look at it, great for the people being in the chat. Adam, as always, great that you come on and that. We need to get a bit more often than that. I know obviously the show kind of clashes with your one. I know that.
We try and finish it earlier because obviously maybe you get my dad on more often and showing them pictures, then I might be able to come on more often.
I'm going to have to get your dad on Wednesday night on network as well at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and he's up at like 4 o'clock in the morning in his job, so he has to be quite conscious of that.
Maybe I'll do a recorded interview with him and then just drop it in.
Yeah, Budge, look, this is the best one for you. Look, Words and Pictures says, "Dinner must be cold. The fire alarm went off ages ago."
WP! They fucking never let me down, do they? They never let me down. Fucking hell.
And it's still frozen.
Do you know what? I've got to say, I'm going to have to vote. If anybody wants to vote against it, say so now. The comment of the night was the fact that Antonio was on the bench for the 1923 final.
Absolutely. People in the chat,
That's
as always,
the comment of the night.
Pleasure you be with us and that. 2 hours and 41 minutes. It's been a great show. We've had some great people on there. Gates, if he's still in the background and that, unless of course he's enjoying the breeze.
I'm here. I'm still here.
He's dancing around in his boxers, or
no, he's in his birthday suit now, Budgie.
I'm commando, mate. Yeah.
Japanese style.
And running round Tottenham.
And may I point out that Jeff's statement, earlier where he said it's been a long one, that's something my wife hasn't said in a long time.
So your wife talks how my wife talks.
Say again.
I said your wife talks how my wife talks.
Yeah, I know. Does she do it with sort of like this tone of disappointment and disdain?
Now, to be fair, she just looks, and then it's the same sound.
Is it just shakes her head and tuts?
Yeah, exactly.
And the eyebrow movement. Yeah, That's the pain of being a West Ham fan, guys.
That's it.
People, like I said, thank you very much for being with us. We are going to wrap it up now. You will find us back on Sunday night for the Sunday Night Takeaway show. And of course, next week we will be going back on with obviously the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then me and Budgie, and hopefully the illustrious people we've had on the panel already will come and join us yet again. But other than that, thanks very much for being with us. And as always, as we like to say,
thanks to everyone in the chat. Everybody in the chat.
Come on, everyone! Don't forget.
You guys help to drive this show forward every week.
Cool, you Irons.
Don't forget. Yeah, never stop chatting, never stop commenting. You help to drive it forward. So thank you for that, everybody in the chat. Guys on the panel, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome, mate. You're the last one, Budge. We've already done it. Casey's done it beyond the screen. You've got to do come in your irons, and we're signing out.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Night, everyone.